Taylor here in the KENS 5 Digital Weather Center, and we are under a severe thunderstorm watch. Things have escalated quickly as a couple of strong thunderstorms develop along the dry line. We had about a 20 or 30% chance of this. The cap has broken, and we've got some very strong thunderstorms that are blossoming and moving right over the Medina-Bexar County line. So the National Weather Service has issued now a severe thunderstorm watch. It's going to be in effect until 11 p.m., and it's going to cover San Antonio right up to 281 corridor. We'll see that watch populate this map here shortly. Haven't seen it just yet on the map, but it is going to be issued, and you can see this is why. Thunderstorms producing a tremendous amount of lightning right now, and notice that it's just about covering western areas along Highway 90, 1604, and just kind of coming right up Highway 16, which is Bandera Road. So this is the spot right here where we received 10 inches of rain practically in about 72 hours last week. So this will go right to flooding. This will go right to flooding in a heartbeat because of just how much rain has already fallen in this area and will continue to cause water to rise. I mean, the water will have a very low, or the ground and soil will have a very low absorption rate. It's already pretty saturated, and this will go immediately to runoff. So we're going to probably see some flooding, but first is going to be some small hail. So these storms are not under a warning right now, but we're going to keep a very close eye on the National Weather Service chat room and see exactly what kind of cells we're building. What they've reported thus far in this cell, small hail and winds of about 40 miles per hour. But you can see how rapidly they're building. I mean, look, mostly sunny skies. A lot of you didn't even see clouds today. But this dry line, and with this kind of heat and this instability in the atmosphere, and this storm fired right up, again, north of Highway 90 in Castroville, but you also have another cell developing. Doesn't show that it's building as rapidly as that top cell, but definitely another strong thunderstorm north of Divine heading towards Castroville. So Castroville first got a clip, and now you're starting to lighten up as this storm travels north. It's maybe a slight jog northeast, but certainly not moving northeast per se. So you can see right here that we definitely have this under a, let's make sure that we're getting, let's see here, thunderstorm watch right there. And then we'll put this over. So now you can see where that watch is located. Oh, wait, let's see this here. Let's move this over here. Okay. There's the watch that it's in effect again until 11 p.m. as we see these storms. Now, this is part of a dry line that's been very active across North Texas. They also have the frontal boundary. There was a tornado just east of Granbury, Texas, and now there's a lot of hail heading in and some dangerous thunderstorms near Fort Worth tonight. Yeah, Laredo, yeah, right? There was some serious heat. Cotulla and Pearsall both 106 this afternoon. Unbelievable heat. Now, there is, with a severe thunderstorm, you're most likely going to see large hail. The tornadic environment is not present like it is in North Texas, but it's always a small possibility. I can't rule it out. I mean, it's not a 0% chance. Keep that in mind. But we're definitely looking at the possibility of some large hail and some damaging wind speeds. I mean, this cell, again, traveling north-northeast and really starting to broaden its real estate, if you will. All right, so let's get this down here, and let's see what kind of hail we might be getting in this. We'll put the hail tracker on it and drop this in on top of radar. So far we've got, you can see just some of that smoky fill, which is going to be marble the pea size best. I mean, it's not going to be a real problem until you start seeing some colors on that hail tracker, okay? Let's get this up tight for you. And if you see some color in that, now you definitely have larger hail, and hail that could definitely produce some damage and cause, you know, dents in vehicles and even glass breaking. But what I'm noticing now that this is moving into Leon Valley and Helotes, Some of this hail, let me get in here closer, is going to be on the back side to the western side of the cell itself. So even though it's starting to rain for those of you in Helotes and Leon Valley, it's going to really start picking up. Now you can see where the heaviest rain is. If I zoom into a street level map, there's 1604 and Petranco, and then right there, there's some color now showing up north of Highway 90, heading towards Arcadia Path and Reed Ranch. So this is going to be the highest or largest amount of hail. If there's going to be larger hailstones, this spot right in here is going to be where you're going to see hail growing in size. Probably, again, that's going to be upwards, let's see, walnut-sized hailstones. So this is definitely what you want to do if you are north of what this blue line is. Like if you're anywhere near Grossenbacher, heading towards Petranco, if you're on Petranco, you want to get your car under something. I mean, this hail is definitely growing in size. Yeah, very, very much so, Babs. These are fast moving. No, this is all west of New Braunfels. No worries in New Braunfels. But, you know, we could see some of this grow and move east. Okay, so here we are. This is western Bexar County. Give you a zoom out to show you what we're talking about here and exactly what this is. Again, is a severe thunderstorm watch. Okay, we don't have a severe thunderstorm yet. We need this storm to be producing winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, and we need hail 1 inch in diameter. If we get that, we've got a severe thunderstorm. Right now, we're below that criteria. That cloudy area that you see moving towards Medina Lake. See that Lake Hills and that little notch in Bandera County? That's Medina Lake. And with that little hail core, it's a very small one, and a very small hail size, that is, large core, I could say it. That could be marble size, pea size hail. Drifting north, probably stays east of Medina Lake, but a lot of you will see maybe some small pea size hail with that as these drift north. So if you see that, again, New Braunfels is under the watch. New Braunfels, somebody was asking about New Braunfels, you're under the watch. Stopped at the car, what, right, Aguirre? See? Unbelievable. Z, I guess it is. Aguirre, your last name? Alamo Ranch and Culebra area, yeah, that's really where this heavy rain is moving in right now. Heaviest rain is coming your way, and some small hail possible, not large enough to do significant damage, but that could change any second. That's one of the most important things about getting this radar on the screen for you, to show you where that hail is showing up and where it could be moving and where you can get your car safely underneath something. I would do it. If you're in Helotes, get your car under something safe, because it's definitely going to be a possibility that you'll get large enough hail to do some dent damage. Okay, now again, the largest hail is in northeast Medina County, and the largest being marble size at best. This is not a big hailstorm, but it could happen. It could be building. Let's take a look at what kind of lightning is being produced, and that's a good amount of lightning. So lightning is going to always give us an indication of updraft. Updraft will always give us an indication of hail size. The stronger that updraft, once you start really building this thunderstorm, it's inhaling, it's intaking all that good moisture, hot air. We were in the mid-90s this afternoon, dew point around 70. I mean, this is a ripe atmosphere. Well, once you start getting that good energy and good feed into that storm, now you're building it, okay? And once you start building it higher and higher, now you could start getting into those more impressive hail sizes. So we could see walnut-sized hail right now, but that could really change, and we start seeing some larger hail develop in this cell as it's moving north-northeast. Keeping an eye on the chat. Let's see if there's anything in just yet. Severe thunderstorm warning. We're just getting it now. It's going to, there it is. 8:15. Severe thunderstorm warning as this cell is moving north-northeast. Let's see what this says about it on the warning, and we'll get an idea as to what we've got on movement, because it's obviously, you see how that polygon's now going to go northeast and be traveling towards Comal County and New Braunfels. That's pretty impressive. It's located over SeaWorld, about 10 miles northeast of Castroville, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. So right now, estimating ping pong ball size hail and winds of about 60 miles per hour. So a barely minimal severe thunderstorm as far as warnings go, okay, and what we've got. But ping pong ball size hail is definitely significant enough to cause damage. So why don't we zoom this out just a touch, and moving northeast at 45 miles per hour, the most important thing to do, where's it moving next? I want to lose lightning, okay, and we want to get into the core of where this storm is going to be producing the heaviest rain and the largest hail. Northeast at 25 miles per hour. I got away from me a little bit there. Here we go. Okay. So now in these boxes, in these communities, is where you definitely want to put your car under something. You definitely want to move something inside if you can get out there. The rain is beginning, but it's only going to intensify from here. For Kellen Heights, 7:15 is when the strongest part of this storm is moving in with the hail. Helotes, 7:18. So you got about 5 minutes to get your car under something. I would definitely put a car underneath any kind of tarp, underneath a carport or garage is best, but if you don't have either one of those options, cover it somehow. Wolf Stadium, because you can at least protect the glass. Wolf Stadium's going to be at 7:21. Gray Forest at 7:23. There's a new warning. That warning's going to be for that spot of the storm that you can see that's going towards eastern Bandera and into Kendall County and heading towards Fair Oaks. So that's now a second warning. We're tracking the cell that's moving northeast at 25 miles per hour, and we'll track it to Gray Forest at 7:23, Balcones Heights at 7:29, Chavano Park 7:32, Castle Hills 7:34, and Olmos Park 7:38. Now this second warning, you can see that this second warning just fired, and this one's in effect until 8:15. So let's get the information on this one as it's heading north into northwest Bexar County, as well as southeastern Bandera, and just about all of Kendall County is under this warning. Now this storm is about 12 miles southwest of Boerne, moving northeast also at about 40 miles per hour. So a faster moving cell and producing about the same size according to what radar is indicating. We're going ping pong ball size hail and winds near 60 miles per hour. So we'll track this north at 40 miles per hour. And if we move this across and 40 miles per hour, this storm is at McAndrew Elementary School, 7:22. If you're inside this box and I'm reading your community, this is when you protect your vehicles. This is when your car is put in a garage. That's the best bet, of course. Under a carport, even under trees, does help because, of course, any kind of cover is going to be beneficial, especially for the glass of the windshields. So Fair Oaks Ranch, 7:29. Boerne Middle School South at 7:31. Cibolo Creek Elementary at 7:35. And Boerne itself at 7:36. So you've got about 10 to 15 minutes in most cases in this area of Kendall County and extreme northwestern Bexar County to protect from hail and high winds. The hail about ping pong ball size, the winds about 55 to 60 miles per hour. These storms blossomed up fast. I mean, they cranked right up along the dry line, and this outflow, you know how hot it was. We were cooking up into the mid-90s this afternoon. So without much of a surprise, this dry line fires these storms. We are on the southern reach of a severe threat with the Severe Prediction Center saying a 1 out of 5 chance. This is why I couldn't say 0% chance, and I was showing that map at 4, 5, and 6. Now, we're under a watch now until 11 p.m. because we could see these storms develop until this dry line begins to quiet down. But now notice, again, you see some big polygons covering a lot of real estate across the San Antonio metro. And again, moving north into northwest Bexar County and all of Kendall County on these cells right here. Now, most importantly, I've got to get some word on KENS 5. So what I'm going to do is keep this in motion for the last 2 hours, and you can see the warning boxes, okay? And I will be right back with you momentarily. It's going to be important that I get that crawl on Ken's 5 and continue this coverage. Be right back. All right, we are back, Facebook Live, and getting a little info on that cell that is moving into, or I should say now, probably through the SeaWorld area, because it is moving pretty quick at 40 miles an hour. Hail reports of ping pong ball size coming in from a local storm reporter. So that's about an inch and a half in diameter, a little larger than an inch, and the winds are probably around 60 miles per hour. That wind speed, as was most of the hail reports, radar indicated, but that SeaWorld report coming from a spotter. So that's telling us now that we're starting to get a little handle on exactly what kind of cell we're dealing with, and it's definitely building. So severe thunderstorm watch is what you see in pink, and 2 active warnings right now across northern Bexar County into Comal County. Pretty large reaching polygon on that second one, with that cell moving north at about 40 miles per hour, the other cell moving northeast. I'm going to assume that picked up some speed. The first indication was that it was moving at about 25 miles per hour. And let's check on exactly what that's saying now, right here. Northeast at 25 miles per hour. So it's interesting how much slower the cell that is moving just up to San Antonio as compared to the one that's moving north into towards Kendall County. Okay, so that's the big difference there. Keep an eye on some of the cameras, some very heavy rain, of course, so visibility has gone down to near 0 in some spots, and so that's always going to be a concern for sure with anybody that's driving, and you know, we're at 7:30. I mean, it's early enough that there's going to be a lot of motorists on the road. And yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, cool. I'm thinking out loud here because I'm texting with our director, Jesse Perez. What I'd like to do is try to put what you're seeing on Ken's 5 broadcast. I don't want to interrupt Facebook coverage or YouTube coverage. Awesome, it can be. So I'm just going to text him now and let him know we'd like to do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do some tracking. Because again, we're starting to see some pretty decent hail cores now. And you can see right in here, this is near Medina Lake now. Look at that. That's a good size hail core just off Bandera Road. Okay. So coming right into, if you know where Paradise Canyon is, beautiful spot, by the way. Paradise Canyon, heading towards Medina Lake, right off Highway 16. So there's some rural communities back in here that are seeing, I'm going to say Walnut, golf ball. Okay. I thought it would be golf ball to Walnut is going to do damage. So let's track this spot because this is where it becomes very important to know where's that hail moving. So it looks like that larger hail misses Helotes. So that's good news for you in Helotes. This will stay to your west-northwest. Cross Mountain, west-northwest. Bernie, different story. Bernie, I would get your car prepared right now. I would have your car underneath something or at least covered to make sure that glass is protected because this is going to be hail size that will do some damage. So as I pull this a little farther out, get a little more real estate on the map here to do a storm track. Okay, let's go ahead and move this north, right on the hail core, which, okay, I'll say that in a minute. Hold on. 40, north at 40. So into Pipe Creek at 7:30. Bernie at 7:39. Bernie High School 7:41, Sisterdale 8:04. The important thing at this point right now is if I just read your community, you've got to cover your vehicle. You've got to protect what you don't want broken by large hailstones. Because these are small compared to what we saw last week, but large enough to do some damage. Now notice we've got the other hail core down across West San Antonio growing. Let's get in here tighter. I'll lose this now that you've seen that. And go in here a little bit tighter. And now this is in some very densely populated areas of West San Antonio. Arcadia Path, and see this hail is going to be a little bit larger. Right in here, yeah, Walnut, just a little larger than a golf ball. Let me see what we're getting on the chat. Several reports from western Bexar County of ping pong ball size hail. Pea size at 410 in Culebra. So nothing too big there, but this is the largest now. That just got bigger. Still golf ball though. And we'll zoom this out just a touch. And I want to track this because I want to put it in motion. Let's just put it in motion for, say, 30 minutes. And see how, yeah, this is definitely tracking more northeast, the reason for that other shaped polygon, right? You see how that other polygon is heading more towards Comal County with our first one heading more into Bernie? So let's track that northeast at only 25 miles per hour. And I want to just track the hail core. Remember, you're going to get very heavy rain in these communities before the times that I'm going to indicate to you here. But this is for the hail. This is for the hail that could be about golf ball size. Beluga Stadium at SeaWorld, 732, Folks Middle School, Gom Road, heading out towards Government Canyon. That's going to be 737. Paul Taylor Fieldhouse, 740. So that's going to be 410 at Culebra. Leon Valley, 743. Earl Rudder Middle School, 747. Oakland Estates at 748. Balcones Heights, 751. Delview Elementary at 752. So this will be the hail of about golf ball to walnut size. It'll definitely do some damage. In these communities, in this box, please make sure that you're covering and protecting your vehicle. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. I would love to be taking comments, guys, but I'm trying to get through to as much coverage as I can, so I apologize that I'm not talking to you specifically. Sun peeking out. Thank you, Ashley. Samantha, any hail Bandera 1604 area, very possible with this second cell that's a little slower moving. But it actually could stay south of you, you know, because that first cell, that's going to be more of Fair Oaks Ranch into Bernie on the hail, like in the next 20 minutes, tops. Same, Dawn. You know, we had this dry line, 20 or 30% chance it would fire some storms and break the cap. And I mentioned it, if it did break the cap, it would turn severe, and that's exactly what happened. Northwest hail for Maxine, thank you. Please, if you're going to take pictures, guys, do it safely away from windows and tag it, hashtag that is, Ken's5 Eyewitness. Send us my email, btaylor@kens5.com, btaylor@kens5.com, but on your social platforms, hashtag it Ken's5 Eyewitness. Marble size hail for Reggie at Petranco and 211. Thank you very much, Reggie. Appreciate that. Von Army. No, you're in good shape. You're in good shape. So this is all north of you and heading north. So no worries, Felicia, in Von Army. Converse will stay east of all this. So as it's drifting northeast, even that second cell probably moves off to your west. You're going to start getting some rain in the next 30 minutes out there, but I don't think you'll get the hail. Yeah, Nancy, exactly. I mean, this is that time of year. We get that cap of warm air. Normally, it inhibits this from happening. But if it does happen, it gets dangerous fast, and it's exactly what we saw occur, is that these storms busted right through that cap, and this hail's getting bigger, guys. Let's get in here a little closer. West San Antonio, north of Highway 90, and that's going to be, what road is that? Okay, there's 211. That's 211. We just got that report of the hail at 211 from Reggie. So that's Grossenbacher. And let's go ahead and see what this hail size is reporting, golf ball. So large enough again to do some damage as this moves northeast at about 25 miles per hour. All right, no IFB. Because I'm on Facebook. Okay, he can see and hear me now, so that's awesome. We're going to go up on Ken's 5, so I don't have to worry about running another crawl, and we can just continue the coverage. Get this off to a wider view, show our San Antonio Ken's 5 viewers. Now we've got 2 warnings in effect right now. 8:15 is number 1. And 8:15 on number 2. I'm going to worry about that one. Okay. All right, he's calling to get us up on the air. Awesome. Because we're broadcasting live on Facebook, and I love this, and we've got a really good audience, and God bless you all. Stay safe. Again, nothing tornadic, and most likely that will not occur. That's why this is a severe thunderstorm watch, okay? I zoomed this out to show you the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect until 11 p.m. All right, so in fact, let's go ahead and get that window up as well. And show that first. Okay, nice wide view here before we go in tight. So the severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 11 p.m. There's a reason why it's not a tornado watch, because the wind shear is not very strong. Strong wind shear is when that wind speed is going up rapidly with altitude. Without positive wind shear, we've got a very unstable environment, but without positive wind shear, the tornadic vortex is not as big a possibility. With these kind of mature thunderstorms, it'll always be a possibility because you've got tremendous updraft and downdraft, and you can get some spin and rotation. So that could happen. We can't say zero. But a severe thunderstorm watch means more than likely it doesn't happen, and more than likely we're getting large hail and high winds. So right now the hail is about golf ball size and ping pong ball size, which is a little larger than a golf ball, and the winds are at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Oh, we're on the air. All right, we are on KENS 5. Good evening. Bill Taylor here from the KENS 5 Digital Center, just joining live Facebook coverage right here on KENS 5 television. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for San Antonio as well as Kendall counties. Those are the two spots, primarily city of San Antonio and Fair Oaks Ranch and Bernie, as some large hails beginning to grow in size. It started about marble or maybe pea size, but has now grown to golf ball size hail that's moving north and northeast, okay? I want to start on this wide view to give you an idea that we have a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. now, and it's all those pink shaded counties from Atascosa and Frio north through Fredericksburg. The interesting part is that this dry line could still fire some storms to the south. These were surprise storms along a dry line that punched through the cap of warm air aloft and just powered up so rapidly. So this is the first warning. Until 8:15, we've got hail about, again, golf ball size at largest, nothing too large, not like what we saw last week. And then the second warning is also until 8:15, and this hail core is a little bit larger. You can see that it's coming up on Bernie right now, and I'll show you that this hail size might be a little bit larger. No, it's still golf ball. So that's encouraging as it starts to cross over Highway 46. So I want to track this off to the north at a pace of about 40 miles per hour just to show you where this storm is moving next. The most important thing in this situation is to protect your property. This is going to be hail and high winds moving through the Bernie area and moving north at about 40 miles per hour. So covering Kendall County right now and moving into Sisterdale at about 7:59. So in the Bernie area, it looks as though if you're on the western side of Bernie, that's where this hail is going to be largest. We can get in here real tight and go down to street level. And if you know the Bernie area, this is going right across 46. We're still kind of southwest of Bernie itself. Get in here a little bit tighter and even show you what we've got with street levels. 46, there's Thunder Canyon. If you know where Thunder Canyon is, you have an idea of where this is in northwest Bexar County and southern Kendall County. Now that's a little bit larger right in here. Some pink is showing up, but still only showing us golf ball size hailstones. So it should be crossing 10, but if you're in Bernie, it's definitely going to be off to your west, southwest, okay, and moving north. We can pop in the lightning. This is a highly charged electrical storm, so keep in mind that you could lose power, okay? And then the other cell. Let's go in here tight now and show you what's moving across northwest San Antonio. Now this storm is moving northeast at 25 to 30 miles per hour. So I want to get a cone on this one as well and we'll draw it from the hail core. I want you to keep something in mind. Drawing from the hail core means you still get some very heavy rain, but then you get the hail after. So let's go with 25 to 26 miles per hour, and it's moving kind of more northeast right here. If you are in this box, if I mention your community, protect your property, cover the vehicle, because that'll protect the glass. It won't necessarily protect the car from denting, but golf ball size hail will produce some small dents. If you've got the garage, fantastic. Carport, great. If you can get your car underneath something, wonderful. But if you can't, covering it will do some good. Beluga Stadium, of course, is SeaWorld at 7:40, so that's right now. Kellen Heights at 7:44. Then Wolf Stadium, so you're talking about Old Highway 90, just near 151 at 7:50. Leon Valley, 7:51, densely populated area that could get some pretty good size hail about 10 minutes before 8. So that's why I want to break into, I believe it's the neighborhood, and just give you this kind of an update in order to protect your property and expect winds of about 60 miles per hour. So anything that you don't want blowing around, you want to bring inside right now if you can safely get out there and do that. Oakland Estates at 7:56. The ROTC track at 7:56. Now I'm going to just say that that's Gustafson Stadium, the Gus at 410 Culebra area, because I'm just not sure which track they're talking about on that tracking. Balcones Heights at 7:59, and then Robarts at 8:02. So continuing that northeast track, and just now getting to sunset, I mean, you know, we're still going to have plenty of energy for this storm to hold together, if not even strengthen a little bit. So it's just moving across the north side. It's going to clip with some heavy rain, 410 and into downtown. But it looks like the hail is going to go right across the 410 corridor from about Highway 90 east to Bandera Road. Now there's a new fresh hail core. If you just saw that update, that little blue spot came in south of 90 and 410, just off to the west of 410. So let's lose this tracker and then go in here a little bit tighter and see which communities are getting some large hail right here. And again, east-northeast on this at about 25, 30 miles per hour. So you see this is going to be McDonough, Lacoste, West Montgomery, and they're 1604. And this hail is going to be about the size of a golf ball as it's moving east-northeast towards Valley High. So those of you in Valley High should definitely heed warning. If this is moving at 25 miles per hour, we'll move this out. And Lackland City, prepare for this hail at 7:46. Kellen Heights at 7:47. Allen B. Shepherd Middle School, 7:49. So there's the Wolf again, coming in on this track of this hail core just before 8 p.m. Edgewood Stadium at 7:56, Phoenix at 7:58, and then Rhodes Middle School before the city itself. So this could move into downtown. Whenever you see San Antonio proper on a storm track like that, it's talking about City Hall. That's what it's using as its Latin lawn, if you will, and moving into downtown. 72 hours between Wednesday and Friday, we get 8 to 10 inches of rain, and now the dry line and the kind of heat, we're in the mid-90s with a dew point of 70 today. And that little dry line, it's now retreating back to the west for the evening. What it does during the afternoon, daytime hours, it swings east. It's a summertime phenomenon. We see it every summer in South Texas. And now the dry line sweeps back to the west. But as it sweeps to the east and into those just ripe dew points, hot temperatures, this is what can happen. The cap was pretty strong, but it weakened enough, and these storms got strong enough to punch right on through the cap. All right, now we're getting some big hail in Bernie. So let's get in here tighter, and you can see this hail is a big stretch of area right now. Wow, right across I-10, 46, and into Bernie itself, really blowing off the top is a severe thunderstorm that's moving in through Bernie right now and moving north. Let's get the latest on exactly where that's going and how fast. It's still moving at 40 to the northeast and causing a lot of hail, producing quite a bit of hail. Let's see if we've got anything on the chat. Severe thunder, pea-size hail, Bandera Road at Mainland. This is from the Skywarn Network, pea-size at 1604 Bandera. So not large enough in those cases to produce damage. but definitely possible here at Bernie. This is definitely possible in Bernie to see some damage with this storm that's moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So it's going to cover most of Kendall County. You can already see it's across southern Kendall County and affecting Bernie itself. We'll get in here tight again. But that's some pretty large hail that's going to do some damage. And that's right along, those are all those car dealerships. They might be having some serious hail sales coming up along I-10 at Bernie. You've got several car dealerships underneath hail right now. Zoom this out, show you again, we're working 2 supercells, okay? 2 supercells with corresponding severe thunderstorm warnings. We've got P to golf ball size hail. We've got winds of about 60 miles per hour. So dangerous thunderstorms that are still building. That's why it's important to interrupt KENS 5 programming now to give you this heads up, give you this warning to keep you ahead of this storm. Keep property safe right now. The tornadic threat is not like what we had last week. Okay, I can't say it's a 0% chance, but I will say that it's at least a minimal chance in this kind of an environment. A severe thunderstorm watch is the reason why, number one, that we don't have the conditions in place for that spin up with wind shear. A wind shear environment says that the wind speeds are increasing as we go higher and rapidly, okay? That's not as present this go around. It's not at a 0% chance, but at least a larger opportunity with these cells is large hail and damaging winds. Now, that being said, any severe thunderstorm is capable of producing rotation. You've got a tremendous, remember, these are like living, breathing organisms that inhale all that warm, hot air that we produce today. Mid 90-degree temperatures, dew points in the 70s, that's what it's inhaling. That's what it's working with. That's why these storms build to the tower heights of 60, 70,000 feet, miles up. And then that exhale, it's going to come in the form of precipitation. Unfortunately, it's coming in the form of hail, as well as, of course, big winds. That downburst wind speed, those micro downbursts can produce straight line winds of 70 to 100 miles per hour. That's what happened down Highway 90 Wednesday night of last week. We had wind speeds clocked between 80 and 100 doing damage between Hondo and Castroville. But now it's in San Antonio. Now we've got this severe thunderstorm warning for San Antonio until 8:15. I want to see that we've got, again, pea-sized hail being reported. Severe thunderstorm warning continues till 8:15. And golf ball size hail possible in the Bernie area right now as that storm is moving north of Bernie. So it should be letting up pretty soon for those of you in Bernie. And then across West San Antonio, you can see it's just here now, right at 1604 and 90, and moving northeast at about 25 miles per hour. There it goes. That's a fresh update and just showed you the growth in hail size. And it's still going to be about golf ball size. So again, enough to do damage, definitely enough to prepare any vehicles for. This in effect until 8:15 as it moves northeast at about 25 miles per hour. All right, so I'll track this one for you right now before I let you go. We'll go back to KENS 5 television and we'll continue this live coverage on Facebook. So move over to the KENS 5 Facebook page, okay? And I want to do this entire polygon, but right across that hail package. Northeast at 25 to 26 miles per hour. So you might already be getting very heavy rain. You're saying, Bill, it's raining crazy here, and we're getting, just tremendous amounts of lightning and high winds. True, but this is the timing on the hail, okay? This is the timing on where this hail core is positioned, and it could be golf ball size. So Wolf Stadium still about 10 to 8. Leon Valley 7:52. Edgewood Stadium 7:54. 2 minutes before the top of the hour for Balcones Heights. Then into downtown 8:02. Castle Hills 8:04. Alamo Heights a few minutes later, and then Hill Country Village. So now we're going into the 281 corridor at 8:12. So as it moves northeast, heavy rain and damaging winds coming with it of about 60 miles per hour. And then the hail right now at about golf ball size. So I want to send things back to KENS 5 television for now, but please jump over to the KENS 5 Facebook page, and I'll be continuing coverage live on Facebook, on our KENS 5 Facebook. All right? Until now, I'll keep you updated on the bottom of your screen, but again, also on Facebook Live and we'll send it back to Ken's 5 programming. All right, now we're continuing on Facebook. That was live on television. And again, I would love to get some Q&A, but unfortunately, okay, excellent. Let's see. Okay, clear there. Still on Facebook. Timberwood Park. Hi, Christy. Yes, I'm going to say yes because, well, you know, the way you might really get lucky, Timberwood Park could honestly be between both cells. If you look at that track, the way it's moving right now, it looks like Timberwood Park, that this cell with the hail that's moving through San Antonio, things are improving in Bernie, as you just saw that fresh update, stay south of Timberwood Park, right? Boy, that hail's growing. Look at that. Did you see that update? So first stop is going to be this Bernie storm, and that's improving. Hail getting smaller for Bernie, moving into kind of a rural area of Kendall County, moving out of the densely populated Bernie, but moving towards Sisterdale, Comfort. You guys need to prepare for hail. Sisterdale and Comfort. Hail's coming your way. It's hopefully not going to be as large as it was in Bernie, but we have golf ball size hail. I'm waiting on some reports from Bernie, but haven't seen one. We're estimating 2-inch size hail. Again, that's about golf ball to walnut size across West San Antonio. This is moving now into the 410 Highway 90 area. There's Wolf Stadium. So if you're in this area, this is where you protect your vehicles. This is when you've got to protect your car, your truck. Very bad, heavy rain. Thank you, Gondo, at 151 Ingram. Yeah, Alamo Heights is definitely, you're going to see it, Pete. It's coming your way. Getting hail on the south side, not too much. You can see that this is going to be southwest at the most, but Somerset, Elmendorf, you're in the watch, so we can't rule it out. That looks like a new warning. This warning's in effect till 8:45. We got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that's extending through downtown San Antonio and east until 8:45. This storm moving northeast at 30 miles per hour, producing 2-inch size hail and winds of 60 miles per hour. So this has been extended in time and real estate. This has been extended farther east to now include Schertz, St. Hedwig, China Grove, and Sayers are now going to be in that polygon.
Is there a place to send Henry to track to look for weather?
So hail damage won't be as big a story as flooding. I really think West San Antonio might be, I mean, where we got 10 inches of rain between Wednesday and Friday, it's coming down really heavy. I'm not talking to my imaginary friend. This is actually Megan Perez, our executive producer. So I think West San Antonio, I'm getting really good hail right now at 410 Highway 90, but very heavy rain in a spot that got 7 to 10 inches Wednesday through Friday.
So you think Chase flooding over there?
But be very careful. This is a severe thunderstorm right now. I mean, winds are about 60 miles an hour. You know, they want to go chase and find some of these pictures and get this story and see who's being affected, but please, don't become the story. So we will definitely keep our crews out of harm's way. He wants to go in where it's worse, but yeah, look at that. Did you just see that? That hail core just grew. So we're not seeing the color change. One thing you watch for in this is when you start seeing the pinks or reds, now we're getting upwards of that closer to baseball, tennis ball size hail. Not the case right now. Staying at golf ball size hail, but moving into downtown San Antonio and northeast at 30 miles per hour. It's time to track. It's time to get this storm tracked out to the east. I want to verify that forward progress. 30 miles per hour northeast. So again, we're drawing it right inside the loop now, right on that hail core. And there we have it. These are the communities that are going to get golf ball size hail minimum. Remember, this hail could grow in size And you've got this kind of time to prepare for it. And this is also going to be the higher winds. Now, you'll start getting the winds. You'll start already, it's already raining, especially Balcones Heights. It's really coming down. But I'm tracking hail. And Balcones Heights might stay north of that hail core the way it's looking right now. So you've got Phoenix at 756, Balcones Heights at 758 for heavier rain at least. Taking a swig of water here. I also think what you'll see is stronger winds in Balcones Heights at that time too. I mean, considering what's heading in that direction. But you can also see that it's downtown 802, almost Park 805, AT&T, so we're moving into eastern Bexar County 809, Salado Junction 811, Kirby 816, Windcrest 819. No reason to think this storm loses its punch, okay? When we're talking about dew points, we had so much sunshine today. This atmosphere ramped up, juiced up for these storms. Dennis, hail must go 20 miles an hour in Windcrest. Or the that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's going 35 right now. Or I'm sorry, at 30. It's going to 30. So yeah, going to get pulled over. Put it in jail. How about that? Thunder, but no rain in Atkins. Excuse me, that's a yawn. You're hearing thunder from these cells we're tracking. You're well south of the action, and it'll stay that way more than likely. Show over. You must stay in. Thanks. Appreciate your program. Thanks, Georgina. Stone Oak. Just like Timberwood, what's interesting here is you really could stay in between this, because that's what I'm thinking for Timberwood Park. With the two severe cells, the two supercells, staying on north and south ends or reaches of Timberwood Park, Bulverde, Stone Oak. Stone Oak's going to get some heavy rain, because you can see you'll get that northern fringe of the southern cell. Okay, you can see it across 1604, so you're definitely getting heavy rain. But the hail core is moving into downtown. The hail could be pea size. You could get some small hail and definitely some winds. But as far as the larger hail for Stone Oak, Timberwood Park, Bulverde, the 281 corridor shouldn't be that bad as far as the hail goes. It will be that bad as far as the rain. The visibility is going to drop, and that's going to be serious for sure. So let's get in here and go tight on what we've got into downtown. There's a new fresh sweep, and see some of that pink starting to show up right over the Wolf now and moving right down Highway 90. That has been the bullseye. Last Wednesday night, it was Highway 90. That was the bullseye for these storms, but of course it was west. But now heading towards the Alamo Dome and the AT&T Center and moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. Radar's indicating 2-inch diameter size hail, winds of 60. Jesse, great job. Thank you. Yeah, we'll try again if necessary. We'll see what's going on here and see how this hail grows about going back on Ken's 5 television. Probably still going to update it as this storm, again, stays together and holds its punch, because look at the amount of lightning. Let's take a look. Zoom out. Lightning data is going to be slow to come in right now. It's in between sweeps. I'm not going to worry about it. We know we've got lightning. All right, so now this is definitely increasing its size. And when I say size, I mean real estate. Size of the hail core is growing, okay? Size of the hailstones are probably growing with it. As we start seeing those pinks show up, remember what we're looking at is a radar estimate of exactly what size of hailstone we're dealing with. So algorithms that are going to include temperatures and wind speeds and, intensity are going to determine what it thinks that hailstone size is going to be. So as it moves into downtown, that could be upwards of at least golf ball. And again, moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and track the hail core again. Just got a fresh sweep, did not change much. All right, so now the communities I'm going to show you are who should prepare for the largest hail. Columbia Heights at 7:59, downtown 8:02, that's going to be near City Hall. The Dome at 8:03, AT&T Center at 8:09, Salado Junction 8:11, Kirby 8:15, Windcrest 8:20, and Converse just before the 8:30 half hour. So if you're just joining us, there's the newest storm track as this supercell moves into downtown San Antonio. We have this warning up until 8:45. 8:45 now. Culebra 410 should be ending as far as hail. I don't have any worries there, Pamela. Missed the update for 10 and 15:18. Edge of St. Hedwig. Hi, Shandy. Yeah, you need to prepare for hail. You're in a warning in St. Hedwig. You need to definitely prepare for hail there. Winds could be about 50 to 60 miles per hour for St. Hedwig. It's going to be maybe about 8:30 to 8:45 that you will start to, and that's the same for Zool, Marion. You're on the outer reach of this severe thunderstorm warning. You're in that polygon. So if you're inside that polygon, prepare for hail, prepare for high winds. New Braunfels, but I was out. No worries. So New Braunfels is under the watch. And if we reach this a little farther and give us a little bit more real estate and take a look, I mean, this is definitely heading towards New Braunfels. The polygon comes right up on it. It's into Comal County, the warning itself. But you can still see that we're pretty far away from seeing impact on New Braunfels, or Seguin for that matter. But you'll definitely be getting some very heavy rain there. Will it produce the hail sizes it's producing now? That's the question. So Bernie, you can see that that storm has lifted north of you, and the hail core went from blue to gray. That's showing us that, you know, we're obviously not seeing hail grow in size, but that's still not the case in downtown. The downtown cell is still producing golf ball size hail. And this is what could impact New Braunfels a little bit later. So definitely stay weather aware in New Braunfels and charge your phones. Castle Hills, you were in that first watch, or I should say track. What am I saying, watch? Very heavy rain, but the hail could pass off to your south. You can see that the track keeps that hail south of you. Pea size at 35 in division, but no rain. Thank you, Reginald. I appreciate it. Stay safe. You're welcome, Terry. I appreciate that. Be another cell after this one. Daniel, it's unlikely, you know, because the dry line, I mean, we still have this watch until 11 p.m. So it's not impossible that we see more storms develop. But just to see these two was a shock. I mean, just to see this kind of environment produce these storms was not expected. We had a cap of warm air aloft. We had a cap, a layer above us of very hot air that these storms would run into, almost like running into a wall as they try to build. But instead, they punch through that cap. The cap also weakens just enough. Maybe some of that air cooled off just enough, and these storms erupted because what we have is a dry line. There's a cold front coming through overnight tonight. That will not produce these kind of storms. The overnight front will more than likely produce what we can consider, that's going to be some, we got some satellite blow-off showing up right there. Interesting. So no reason for satellite because that can be confused with the hail cores. That's showing you the clouds because once the sun sets, then you go into you know, an infrared satellite picture because right now it's uninvisible. That's why you don't see it. Okay, so anyway, where was I? The cap, when you can break through the cap, that's when you have severe weather because only a storm capable of producing hail, damaging winds, and a really powerful towering cumulonimbus will break the cap. With that said, when the front comes in later tonight, maybe a few showers, the best chance east of San Antonio in the overnight hours, maybe between about 2 and 5 a.m. The front is through by sunrise. So once we get the sun up on Tuesday, the front should be to our south. The air is going to be cooling and drying off. 1604 Wiseman, 3 rounds of hail. Wow. Just tonight? Hail stopped at St. Mary's. It's not too far from us at Ken's. Yeah, Monte Vista definitely in the box, in the polygon for a severe thunderstorm, Pete. Now, you can see that we're shrinking that warning polygon. You can see where it started and now has shrunk across Kendall County. Let's go in here and see what this new warning is telling us. This until 8:15 still. And I'll see if there's updated a forward progress. Still northeast at 40 miles per hour on this storm, heading towards Blanco. Looks like Comfort stays dry. Looks like it doesn't even get rain as the storm passes off to your east. All right, but into downtown, we still have a sizable hail core moving into downtown with a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. 8:45. Let's see if anything has changed on this storm. 60 mile per hour wind gusts, northeast at 30. So it's moved out of West San Antonio, now into downtown and heading out towards St. Hedwig, Santa Clara, Schertz. Very heavy rain right here at the station, 410 and I-10. But the hail itself moving into downtown. Still golf ball size. I can query this and go right in here south of Highway 90. And now let's get in and see exactly where that is. That was too small. How about that? Still too small. Now you see where these streets are and where we're getting. Send to web. Or new. So Wolf Stadium, and you can see Southwest 36th Street. So Eyewitness at kens5.com is where you want to send some hail pictures. Send to web at kens5.com. Send the number 2 web. Kens, it might be Kens send to web. Try both. But there it is, 90 where it turns into 10 and vice versa. But you see Castroville Road, Frio City Road, and that's going to be 35 at Zarzamora. So 35 at Zarzamora, this is where this hail package, this hail core is moving in. Golf ball size hail heading towards the Alamo Dome. There's North St. Mary's, Rigsby Ave. That's going to be 35 at 90. 90 at Zarzamora is going to start getting some of that hail right now. Now I can take away the hail and just take a look at what we're seeing with the radar return. And when you start seeing this pink, that is very heavy rain. So Pete, Alamo Heights, Monte Vista, this is really getting heavy for you now. And this is going to be the hail. Where you see those pinks will also be the hail. Might not be as large as what's heading towards the Alamo Dome, but you're definitely in all those pink shaded areas, those are definitely hail cores, okay? But the pink is indicating the reason for that color, the intensity at which that rain is falling. So visibility is down to 0. Those rainfall rates are at least 2 inches per hour, and it's moving east-northeast. Okay, at about 30 miles per hour. So what we could do, might try to get an update on Ken's 5 television as this storm is moving right over downtown. So it looks like the storm in Kendall County is drifting a little bit more northeast. Let's pray that's weakening. And then you can see into downtown, inside 410, this cell is still holding a punch and heading towards Schertz and St. Hedwig, with Schertz really being the bullseye on this, okay? So let's do some tracking. Let me get an update on exactly how fast this is moving. Northeast at 30, and now we'll track it. Pretty much going to track it from 1604 south and 30 miles per hour.
Do we get it for our newscast, or do I need to send it to our newscast?
Let's go ahead and do it right with the polygon. Okay. These are the communities that prepare for hail. These are communities that you get your car and truck under something or cover it. I mean, with the exception of Hollywood Park. You know, Hollywood Park is showing up in the polygon of strong winds and heavy rain, but you're going to miss out on the largest hail. Now the watch just got extended. Did you see that? The watch has now been moved a little farther east to include Guadalupe County, and I think the warning is going to be right behind it come 8:45. So this warning now producing the supercell that's moving northeast at 30 miles per hour and impacts Hollywood Park at 8:09 right now, Kirby 8:13, China Grove 8:18, Converse at 8:23, Universal City at 8:27, Schertz at 8:30, Garden Ridge at 8:31, Cibolo 8:35. Those communities will experience the largest hail, okay? Especially in the path of that supercell section, the back side, right where that pink is showing up. Because now let me drop the hail core back on it. And that's where the hail showing up is in that blue, the very back end of this cell. So the times I'm giving you, it could be raining really hard, and you should be getting some pretty good winds already, and maybe some small hail. But the hail will only grow from here, because it's when that blue core moves in at these times that we'll see the largest hail. So far, let's pray that it definitely, you know, doesn't get any larger than golf ball. We saw cantaloupe-sized hail in some cases out in Sabinal. It was unbelievable last Wednesday night. Newest track, thunderstorm warning in effect till 8:45. Can put this in motion. There's a fresh update too. Raining really hard here at the station. We're in the medical center. Two cells still remain to be the case. Just two supercells have fired up in the metro, and one about to move in to Blanco, Johnson City, up to the north and east. Probably stays east of Fredericksburg for sure. Hey, Bill. Oh. Okay, bye-bye. Hail downtown. Yeah, right, Francisca? Man. So see? That hail core is actually shrinking a little bit into downtown. So Kirby, you're really getting the heaviest rain. Windcrest and China Grove. Those are the three communities right now that will be getting the heaviest rain. Winds of about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Downtown, you can see the hail hasn't gotten larger than a radar estimate of golf ball size, maybe ping pong ball. So we're grateful, but we pray for communities in Windcrest, Kirby, China Grove, Schertz, Santa Clara, St. Hedwig, as this storm moves in, that you're taking precaution, you're protecting property. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 70-mile-per-hour possible. But right now we've gotten the gusts of 50 to 60. Okay, and that's, again, radar estimate. So we just pray right now that God protects these areas, that as these storms move in, you guys are protecting property, that windows are protected, that all of these winds will start to calm, and that this hail won't get larger, because it's potentially a threat of getting larger. We were in the mid-90s, and this dry line got real active. I want to zoom out so you can appreciate just how fast these storms popped. Let's go back 4 hours. Watch this. They started as little showers right along 35 South and grew so fast that in the course of about 20 minutes, they became dangerous thunderstorms. 15 minutes, dangerous thunderstorms. And right across the San Antonio area, right up the I-10 corridor, and now moving east of I-10 into the Johnson City. Blanco is going to be getting that heaviest cell to the north. But again, Windcrest, China Grove, Schertz, you're all going to be getting this heaviest storm across East Bexar County. Tremendous, and there's the lightning. You can see just a incredible cluster of dangerous lightning. Just unbelievable how fast he's fired up as the dry line pushed east. Now, see how it's wobbling to the east a little bit? It's a good sign that hopefully it's going to start to weaken. So we'll take the lightning out. I do want to make sure, and again emphasize, we have not seen rotation. So thank you. We have not seen rotation, thank you, Lord, because it's always possible. When these kind of thunderstorms, these mature supercells are growing, and there's a tremendous amount of updraft, a tremendous amount of downdraft, it could occur. But not the case here, okay? Not the case with what we've got. So let's get back on KENS 5 television just to give some updates that way. Okay, so we'll start wide and just be able to give an update now on these two warnings that are in effect. 1 till 8:45, a new warning has been issued to cover northeast Kendall County. Let's see how long this one is. Till 9 p.m. for Blanco and Llano County, heading towards Marble Falls. The biggest change, too, in the last few minutes is that the severe thunderstorm watch has been extended east for Guadalupe and Wilson counties. Even though we have not seen anything else develop of these two cells, it's possible until 11 p.m. All right, welcome back. Bill Taylor in the KENS 5 Digital Center with this live update. We've been continuing coverage on our KENS 5 Facebook page, but I want to get on KENS 5 television to give you this live update. The severe thunderstorm watch has been extended a little farther east, and the severe thunderstorm warning has been extended in both time and real estate. So now we've got a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. So for the next 30 minutes, we have the threat of hail and damaging winds across eastern Bexar County. So I want to get in here tight enough so that you can see what's happening. This cell is moving northeast at 30 miles per hour, and hail about golf ball size through downtown San Antonio. So from west to east, you can see that the 410, Highway 90, and 1604 area beginning to let up just a bit. But as this storm rolls through downtown, we're heading east on the I-10 corridor towards St. Hedwig and towards Schertz. The good news for Schertz, looks like most of this hail core stays to your south. And the hail, again, golf ball size has been the largest that we've estimated thus far, but that could change. And again, just like we see that the severe thunderstorm watch was extended, we're expecting this storm to hold together. So we'll stop it on the latest imagery, and we'll fan this out northeast at about 30 miles per hour. Again, this is the hail core, okay? And as it moves northeast at 30, keep in mind that you already are getting very heavy rain. But the time slots that I'm giving you are going to be the ones that get this hail core. So I'm tracking from the hail core. You could already be getting winds of at least 50. Gusts are going to 60. And the hail size is running, as I mentioned, about golf ball size. Maybe walnut's been the largest we've seen. Here's some times. Wind crest 819, Toyota Field 820, Converse 826. That hail core just grew. Did you see that? That's why it's great to be on the air when this happens. That hail core just grew a little bit in size as it heads into China Grove. So China Grove, you're already getting this hail. If you want to get a report to us, again, it's Ken's 5 Eyewitness at kens5.com, or it's eyewitness at kens5.com, B. Taylor at kens5.com, and we'll get it on the air. All right, Converse, 826, UC at 831. Shirts, 834 is your time. Cibolo, 839. Zool at 842. And then Northcliffe at 8:45. And Northcliffe, that's going to be the farthest reach of this polygon warning, right? You can see where it's going right down 46, right down I-10, and that polygon extends out about as far east as about Northcliffe, okay? So severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. Winds of about 55 to 60 miles per hour. And we've got this hail core running. Again, it's going to be about golf ball size hail heading into China Grove, Sayers. It should stay to your south, Shirts. It should stay to your south as far as the largest hailstones are concerned. We'll put this in motion now. For the last 2 hours, we've seen this progress east-northeast. Oh, we're going out too far. I don't want to go that far. Where are we going? But you get a taste of what's happening. Along this dry line, things have gotten very active in North Texas, but then 2 isolated cells have blossomed across the San Antonio metropolitan area. Right now, the north cell moving into Blanco, the southern cell moving east of downtown. So St. Hedwig, again, moving right along Highway 90 and 10. It's going to kind of split. As far as the hail is concerned, it's going to go right through the uprights of I-10, and that's going to be Highway 90. So that blue is going to be where we see that golf ball size hail core. Again, winds of about 50 to 60 miles per hour and hail the size of about golf balls. All right, we're going to keep a very close eye on this. I want you to jump over to the Ken's 5 Facebook for live continuous coverage. But for now, we'll go back to Ken's 5 television. Before we do that, I'll give you a quick update on what we're hearing from the Weather Service. China Grove, nickel-size hail at Rigsby and W.W. White. And the National Weather Service has just issued an aerial flood advisory. So this is not a flood warning, but an advisory means that we're seeing some flooding in some areas. Let me get this information. Flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. We've had up to 2 inches of rain in this thunderstorm itself. And we're adding, I want you to keep in mind, we're adding to 7 to 10 inches of rain from Wednesday to Friday and Saturday. So 72 hours, or even a little bit more, of about 7 to 10 inches of rain, and now we just put 2 more inches down. So aerial flood advisory, not flood warning. Aerial flood advisory now in effect for Bexar County, Guadalupe County, and Wilson County. It's pretty much where this cell is. And again, severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45 for San Antonio, heading towards Seguin. This storm is moving east at 30 miles per hour. And while we're at this view, and I'll give you that storm track before I send you back to Ken's 5 programming. Now remember, I want you to keep in mind that we're going to continue coverage live on our Ken's 5 Facebook throughout this until this thread is over. So let's do it right from that hail core, right where the wind speeds are strong enough, and east at 30, northeast at 30 miles per hour. Converse 823, Universal City 827. This is where the hail is, again, going to be most likely south of Converse, but you're going to get small hail in every one of these communities and winds of about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Shirts 830 now, Cibolo 835. Northcliffe 838, Zool 841, Marion 845, New Berlin 849. So please keep that in mind as we send things back to KENS 5 Television. Come join us on Facebook. The KENS 5 Facebook page will continue live coverage. For now, back to KENS 5 Television, and we'll keep the crawls going on the bottom of your screen if we have to break into programming, we'll do so if this gets any worse. We do not have any rotation out there. We have hail and damaging winds thus far. And again, severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45, severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. Back to KENS 5 Television. All right, so we're still here on Facebook, and there goes a new warning. I could have just had that on KENS 5 Television, guys, and I just missed it. What's up, Andrew Wilson?
Hey, Bill. You know, I was just letting you know, if you need to jump on air in studio, I can swap out.
You want to swap out? Yeah, let's do that. All right, we just got this new warning, and this is going to be in effect until 8:45 as well. So interesting that we're not seeing this extended farther. I'm going to clear those. But this new warning is now going to include Wilson County because of where that hail core is. And you can see this is now they've got it east at 25, so it's actually slowing down just a little bit. But just to kind of debrief, meteorologist Andrew Wilson is joining me now in the KENS 5 Digital Center as we continue our live Facebook coverage on KENS 5. You can see the biggest change, Andrew, the first watch was San Antonio north.
Oh, yeah.
A couple counties south.
Yeah.
That's now been extended for Guadalupe, Wilson, as is the warning. The warning's now till 8:45. That goes into Guadalupe and to, Lavernia, almost Nixon, but it looks like it stays north of Floresville. And I haven't seen any hail larger than golf ball. I mean, walnut. So,
Yeah.
fraction of an inch between friends.
I saw that as the hail core was going into downtown, it looked like the hail got a little large there.
That's where it got largest.
Yeah,
If it got largest, it was downtown.
Yeah, very large hail, and that seems to be the main issue with these storms, is big hail. So we're going to continue to, of course, stay live here on Facebook. Bill's going to handle a few things in the studio, guys, just to make sure that we can all stay updated. He'll be tracking a few things behind the scenes here, and then, of course, also he's going to be on air doing some coverage here and there, making sure everybody's updated as this storm continues to move through. So, again, a pair of pretty good severe thunderstorms that have been moving through as we've made our way throughout today, really into the latter part of this afternoon and into this evening, and they're continuing to make their way off to the east. They're moving at a pretty slow pace. These are not the quickest storms out there, but they definitely have a lot of energy with them, and that's one of the reasons why they were able to form the way that they did. We had a strong cap in place today, and that looked like it was going to stop this from actually happening, but it looks like a few storms were able to get their act together and then cause a little bit in the way of a severe weather for us. Again, the main issue with these storms has been the severe warnings associated with them. In other words, the large hail that's associated with them. We've had golf ball size hail, we've had quarter size hail, a lot of different reports, and I see a lot of people commenting underneath HEB, should I stay longer? It depends on which HEB you're at. If you're on the east side of town, yes, definitely stay longer. If you're well east, definitely continue to stay longer. Florida Street near Alamo Dome, our hail is about 3.5 inches. Wow, Cindy, that is huge hail. Again, this is heading towards the China Grove area. If you're in Lavernia, you need to get your property to a safe spot. Now, I'm loading up my show here so Bill can have control of his show in studio. It's just taking a brief second, guys. That way I can get it loaded in. We do continue to have that severe thunderstorm watch in place for a few counties off to the east. It's going to take a second for data to start showing up on my screen here. But just know that that main issue is still going to be right there at on the east side of town, kind of approaching the St. Hedwig area. China Grove looks like they're dealing with the largest of the hails right now, and this is going to continue its way into parts of northern Wilson County, impacting the New Berlin area as well in Guadalupe County, but Lavernia area in northern Wilson County. So St. Hedwig in Bexar County. That's the main issue with these storms. I can go ahead and check velocity too. We want to make sure we can keep an eye on some of those products as well, but it doesn't look like there's really that much of an issue as far as velocity is concerned, or in other words, rotation. We're not seeing any issues with any tornadoes right now. Are these back building now or into tonight? You know, we could have a few more storms beyond this tonight. It is possible, but again, I think that this is going to be the main issue here. You notice it's a big line stretching not just from our area, but all the way up towards Dallas. Up towards Dallas, they do have the tornado warnings. We don't have as much spin in our atmosphere, though. Not saying that a tornado wouldn't be possible with these storms, but it is a lower chance. So something we're going to continue to keep a close eye on as these storms continue to push through. So it's still taking my screen just a little bit longer to gather some of that radar data. As long as it's taking its time to gather the radar data, now that I have my show loaded up here, I do want to just kind of continue to focus on the hail because, again, that's the main issue. Let's take a quick look up to Johnson City as well because, again, parts of Blanco County and northern Kendall County as well as eastern Gillespie County are under a severe thunderstorm warning to go along with it. Now, that hail core just west of Johnson City looks a lot smaller, anywhere from pea to nickel size hail there, so really not that much of an issue. The severe hail, the real stuff that's moving through right now, is going to be the China Grove area. Let me close the toolbox here and you'll see we have golf ball size hail that's right now along Highway 87 in China Grove. This is going to continue its way off to the east, and the 1604 area on Highway 87, Adkins area. That's going to be where we have the largest of the hail pass through, possibly even just a little bit south of there. If you're in Livonia, I'm talking to you. You're going to get big hail where you're at. So just please go ahead and get that property to a safe place. I see reports that it's hailing in Kirby right now. Converse has big hail. TI is saying, is it going to hail again in downtown and the south side? I'm not thinking that we're going to have any more hail on downtown and the south side other than what you're seeing right now. Closer look at 410 down towards the I-37 exit there at I-37 to 410 at the interchange. Looks like they're about to see some large hail with ping pong to possibly even quarter-size hail, maybe even golf ball at the largest. I see Gabriella saying it's hailing in Bexar County. Yes, that's correct, a lot of it. Think it'll hit Gonzales County. You know, that's a good question. The answer is it's possible. It's still pretty far away from you. And these storms are going to be weakening as they continue to try to shift their way off to the east. Now that the sun has gone down, a lot of the energy is going to start to kind of go away out there. So it's not going to be as easy for these storms to continue their trek to the east. They should start to weaken as they get further east, but it's possible it could make it all the way to you. Definitely keep an eye on this. Virginia says they had golf ball size hail in Bernie. That was earlier as the storm passed through, and yeah, I saw a lot of video and images of that. Definitely not something fun, nothing you want to deal with, especially during the evening commute. These storms have also been very electric, a lot of lightning associated with them, so it's good to go ahead and stay indoors. Something else that we may end up having with these storms is a little bit in the way of flash flooding. We may have some flooding in certain areas. We don't have any flash flood warnings in place, but we could have a brief period of flooding, at least on some roadways where it typically occurs, and also in some of the low-lying areas around town. So please be careful there. I see downtown had golf ball size hail, broke through some windshields here at HEB. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not what we want to. That's not what we want to happen, of course. But these storms, again, have put down a history of large hail. How's it looking between New Braunfels and McQueeney? The answer is you are going to be likely under a severe thunderstorm warning. Right now you're not, but I'm willing to bet that you become under a severe thunderstorm warning sometime within the next 30 minutes as these storms continue to kind of shift their way off to the east. So just make sure that you're ready for that. You know, I would go ahead and start getting your property to a good spot. It's not a guarantee that you're going to have large hail and that you're going to have severe thunderstorm, but it is possible that you could be included in this next severe warning. So they may put you in just that upper tier, not as far as severity, but the upper side of the polygon there. So something we're going to watch closely. So guys, I'm having a little bit of a trouble on getting my data to load. It may need me to load a different graphic just to get it in. Those warm temperatures, that was the big player in us getting this severe weather. We had a lot of heating at the ground. Of course, warm air rises, and it broke through the cap and caused the severe weather to start occurring in our area. So guys, I'm just going to bring up a different product to the radar here since it's having trouble loading the other one. And again, you see all of that lightning out there associated with these storms. Let me go ahead and turn off lightning because it's kind of covering up some of the storms that we have out there. It looks like the main issue, the main storm right now that we're having a problem with is going to be this one that's going to be passing close to Livonia, is right now kind of along 87 and I-10, and is continuing to shift its way east towards the St. Hedwig area. Schertz is likely going to see some hail as well, and then this is going to move over towards Seguin, and then eventually over into, again, Livonia. I've said that name a lot. Just raining now in Kirby, but I know that they had reports of hail earlier. I'm glad that it's just rain now. Nickel-sized hail was reported in Kirby. John just reported that. Olivia is saying, what about Cibolo? You know, we could have storms in Cibolo a little bit later on, something that we're going to continue to keep an eye on. But Olivia, just know that storms are possible for tonight. So now that the cap's broken, at least, originally the cap had not broken. It didn't look like it was going to be as much of an issue, but now it looks like we're going to be stuck with these storms for at least a little bit longer. So guys, again, I'm having trouble getting data to load here, so I'm going to do a quick restart on this system. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and answer some of the questions that you may have. Again, we have severe thunderstorm warnings right now stretching from northern Kendall County into parts of Blanco and Gillespie counties. And then we also have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Bexar County, and that's going to extend into parts of Guadalupe County as well as parts of Wilson County. And I think that a portion of Comal County may be included as well. I'll show you all that in just a moment. Right now I'm trying to keep an eye with what the National Weather Service is saying. They're saying golf ball size hail was reported in Kirby off of Ben Zingelman. I'm seeing that we have on Wiener Drive at JBSA Lackland. We have, from Wiener Drive, we have golf ball size hail that's been reported, and then you see that we have a lot of other hail reports on there too. And sorry guys, I'm actually in a chat right now, and I need to get out of it. It was one of our station Zooms. Yeah, it's been a lot in the way of hail, and that's been the main story with these storms. That's going to continue to be the main story with these storms as we head throughout tonight. Evan says, it looks like it's rotating. Yeah, there may be a little bit of rotation in these storms. We haven't had any reports of tornadoes yet. The National Weather Service, of course, is keeping an eye on these storms too, and haven't seen anything in the way of issues with that. I've been watching these storms before I even made it into work. I was kind of keeping a close eye on them and wasn't seeing much rotation, but right when I saw that large hail really kind of start to occur in downtown, or kind of the storm just grew rapidly, and then we started seeing the possibility for large hail, I was like, maybe it's best if I go ahead and head into work because we could be dealing with some really big hail with this. And we have been. Golf ball size hail is nothing to play with. So let's take a look at rotation. As we were talking about just a moment ago, not seeing much rotation in these storms. There's some broad rotation, but that's not tornadic. That's not an issue of having a tornado associated with it. So as long as it stays broad, I'm not too worried about that. Still watching that main hail core. Looks like I've got radar data back here, guys. Sorry it took a second for it to come back to me. Sometimes the computer can be a little iffy and take a second to find that data. But China Grove to St. Hedwig is where we have the main core of the storm right now, the really heavy rainfall, the possibility for the larger hail. Seeing the question about Gonzales, Texas, right now no issue in Gonzales. Right now, Shannon, these storms will likely struggle to make it all the way to where you are at. But it's possible. So we're going to continue to stay on this. Guys, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be sticking around here as long as we have a severe storms on the map, and as long as there's a threat for severe weather, you're going to see me hanging out in here with Bill Taylor, who Bill is, by the way, in the studio now, giving updates occasionally on KENS 5 CBS. So you'll be able to find him there, and of course he's tracking a few other things behind the scenes while I cover this. Is it over for 1604 in Potranco? The answer is yes. These storms are now east of your area. You see a majority of Bexar County it's done for you. But for others, it's just getting started, like St. Hedwig, for Schertz, You're still seeing the heavy rain. You're still seeing the possibility for hail. We have golf ball size hail over the northeast side of town. Melissa's reporting. Very large hail is possible. Eric says, I live off Eckert Road. What kind of severe weather in my area? The answer is nothing. You're fine right now. You're not even in a severe thunderstorm warning. China Grove, large hail, size of tennis balls and baseball size. Trevor's saying, I'm willing to bet there's some truth to that. We definitely have some big hail moving through there. We just took a little bit of a power hit at the station, a little bit of a power flicker. That's going to be possible. Again, as these storms move through, could cause a little bit of issues with some power failures. So let's take a look and query some of these hail sizes. Here just around China Grove, golf ball size according to radar. We see golf ball size stretching well off to the north, and that could even impact St. Hedwig. Look just to your west, St. Hedwig. That part of the storm is going to hit where you're at, and that's going to be golf ball size hail for you. That's not what we want to see, of course, but you need to go ahead and get your property to a safe spot because that's going to be headed east towards your area. And let's check a few areas further south. Golf ball size hail there, golf ball there. And man, that's a big swath of golf ball size hail that's going to be moving toward Lavernia. I've said it multiple times. I'll say it again. Lavernia, you need to go ahead and get your property to a safe spot. Make sure the car is under an overhang if you can. Make sure that you have tarps over some stuff outside if you don't want it damaged by the hail. But it's going to be possible here. I can only hope that this storm continues to weaken as it shifts east. Is Elmendorf, Texas, in the clear? The answer is yeah. It looks like this storm's going to stay just off to your north, but that doesn't mean we couldn't end up having another storm form to the south. Something we'll watch out for. Right now, nothing in the way of storms forming to the south, though. You probably can hear this storm to your north, probably hear a lot of thunder, probably seeing a little bit of lightning in the sky, and definitely seeing a very dark sky to your north. Of course, it's sunset now, so you probably should be seeing a dark sky, but it may look a little more ominous as you look off to the north. That storm in Johnson City, still considered a severe thunderstorm, but it's definitely not as strong as the storm we're looking at now. That storm is actually going to continue off to the north and then impact the Marble Falls area. And then our sister station in Austin, KView, they'll be covering that storm up there. So they're going to keep a close eye on that storm as it continues to head off to the north. But the only severe storm really in our viewing area now would be this storm that's right now in eastern Bexar County, heading through St. Hedwig and heading toward Lavernia, as well as areas like Seguin. I saw a question about Seguin earlier. You know, are we in the clear? The answer is not exactly. I think that the main hail core is going to stay south of Seguin, but it's possible that it could split off and then move through right downtown. Now, I think that if we did have a hail core move through downtown, I wouldn't expect it to be any bigger than golf ball size, but quarter to golf ball size hail can cause damage, and you would not want your vehicle outside for that. Now, if you went north, let's say to New Braunfels or went even just due north there on 123, you would be away from this storm. New Braunfels doesn't look like you're going to really have much of an issue from this. I think that the main severe weather is going to stay to your north. Is this the only rain chance for Lake Hills tonight? The answer is yes, Allison. You're going to have more chances later on tonight. I say yes, but I mean severe weather. You still could have some rain later on, but as far as the really heavy, severe stuff, that's going to be your chance that you've already had for tonight. We're getting tennis ball sized hail in Adkins. Samantha, thank you for your report. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge hail that's coming down right now, anywhere from China Grove to St. Hedwig, maybe even all the way up to Converse, maybe even as far south as the very northern portions of Calaveras Lake there. You know, we could be seeing some larger hail as it shifts further to the east towards St. Hedwig, Lavernia, and New Berlin. Let's see here. Hail did not last long by Randolph Air Force Base. That's good to hear, Terry. I hope it continues to stay quieter there for you. All weather ceased at Highway 151 and Ingram Road. Good to hear that. Ryan was wondering. Ryan was stating though for somebody else, I guess, it's the I-10 corridor. Yes, yeah, the I-10 corridor definitely has a lot of hail on it, stretching anywhere from areas near Converse all the way up to Santa Clara, and then getting close to Seguin. Again, guys, this storm could just clip the southern side of Seguin, and you could see some hail there. It is possible. So not a lot to see. When we're looking at radar, you can't really tell where the most dangerous part of the storm is. As far as velocity is concerned, or wind speeds, you don't really see a lot of issues there. It's going to be stuff that we can continue to keep an eye on. But guys, I want to just bounce it back to hail. Because when we're talking about these storms tonight, the big story is hail. You know, China Grove just saw some large hail. St. Hedwig seeing large hail in just a moment. Hail in Cibolo, about 1/4 of an inch, Robert reporting. So they're now getting parts of the storm as well. And all this is, of course, continuing to shift its way off toward the east. Baseball-sized hail being reported in China Grove by Mary. That's the same part of the storm that will be hitting St. Hedwig very soon. Lavernia, New Berlin. You need to pay attention to what I'm saying when I'm saying something's happening to China Grove, because those parts of the storm that are hitting China Grove are heading in your direction. Is Bulverde in the clear? Josiah, the answer is yes. Not seeing anything up your way. Universal City form area is just light rain now. Yeah, that's mainly what you're seeing. When we look further off to the northeast or to the north towards Universal City, you may have had a brief period of hail, but it's mainly rain. Felicia says, Toddler is happy there are no tomatoes tonight, or in other words, tornadoes. The answer, yeah, I'm happy too, not seeing any tornadic activity. Can you confirm the altitude of storms along the 78 corridor? Storm front looks ominous. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's go ahead and split this storm and get a better look at it. Let me go ahead and bring up 3D here. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to put this in pause as well. So let's go ahead and see the size of these storms, how tall these storms are actually getting, because I can tell you now, they are huge. And it looks like they're getting to be about 40,000 feet. So very tall storms. And again, whenever they're getting that tall, you end up encountering cooler air higher up in the atmosphere, and that leads to hail to start to form. So that's why we're dealing with hail right now. Diana wants to know, is Converse in the clear? The answer is, yeah, I'm thinking that a lot of the hail is now south of you, or the worst part of the storm, rather, is now south of you and will likely continue to move away. So I know that's what you want to hear if you're in the Converse area. So I'm zooming back in, guys. I had zoomed out there for just a second. And actually, you know what? I'm zooming back in, but let's go ahead and take a wider look at things. Let you know what's going on for areas further to the west. You see that quick blip that's in northeast of Uvalde? That's not thunderstorm activity, that's bats. So bats are being picked up by the radar. Right at sunset, they take off from the caves. That's all we're seeing there. That storm up towards Johnson City, northern Blanco County, headed towards Marble Falls. Looks like it's weakened a lot. Really not an issue anymore with that storm. This storm that is heading due east, again, appears to be the storm for our area today. One of the stronger storms that we're going to see. And it's approaching the Seguin area. Nikki wants to know about D'Hanis. Again, nothing in D'Hanis, thankfully. Y'all have had enough storms there the past week. Larger than golf ball size hail just finished here over the east side of San Antonio. Kendra, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your property was able to get out fairly unharmed from that hail. But thankfully now the stronger part of the storm is east of you, impacting China Grove and impacting St. Hedwig, heading into Lavernia. Lavernia looks like the stronger part of the storm may pass just north of you, and it looks like the area that will take more of a direct hit. Not saying that you're in the clear. I still think you may see some hail in St. Hedwig or in Lavernia. But Santa Clara, you may see one of the stronger parts of this storm as it continues to kind of drive off to the east there. Seguin. If you live south of Seguin, maybe along 46 and down towards the 123 corridor in southern Guadalupe County, you are going to be impacted by the possibility of large hail. Lightning has hit structures in the Converse area. Joe, yeah, we have had a ton of lightning with these storms. And let's go ahead and turn on our lightning product and take a look at how far away these lightning strikes are striking away from this storm itself. I mean, we have lightning strikes all the way down into northern Wilson County, and I'm not talking about the part of the county that's seeing the storm. I'm talking about northeast northeast Wilson County, closer on toward Nixon there, right at the Gonzales, excuse me, and Wilson County lines. So a lot of lightning associated with this. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. Another saying here, when turn around, don't drown. When there's floodwaters on the roadway, please turn around. Do not try to drive through them. Some of these storms are putting down a lot of rainfall in a very quick amount of time, and that could lead to flash flooding in certain areas, especially our low water crossings. If you're going to be driving anywhere where there's typically water on the roadways whenever it rains heavy, please avoid those spots. Stephanie wanting to know about New Braunfels. You know, we have a few storms that are going to impact New Braunfels, but it doesn't look like we have anything severe up your way. So I think the severe stuff, the really strong storms, are going to stay south of New Braunfels and just miss you. But it's important to note, we do have a storm, it looks like, trying to form just west of New Braunfels. So you may get heavy rain, but nothing severe associated with that one. That's the good news. Hail insurance by 15-18 right now. So yeah, we do have a good amount of hail moving through that area and heading towards Marion. And if you can, Maldonado, excuse me. If you could please just let me know how big that hail was, in the chat if you don't mind. Any recap of the storms? The answer is yeah. We've had a lot of large hail with them behind them, and I can go ahead and bring up local storm reports to give us a better look where we've had that hail. Let's go ahead and see how big it was whenever it passed there near downtown. 1.5 inch, just a little below an inch there, right into downtown. Other parts, 3-inch size hail there, just west of downtown. We had just under an inch near Olmos Park. Looking further west, looking like about 1/2 of an inch there. And then I also want to clear these off, guys, because I want to see what it was like getting closer to China Grove and the Kirby area in general. 1.8 inches or so, nearly 2-inch size hail there, closer to Kirby. And I know some people were talking about on our Facebook chat that it was even larger at times. Just below an inch in China Grove. So very large hail, again, associated with this storm. And guys, I've talked about it over and over, and it just continues to be the story. We do have that possibility with 60-mile-per-hour winds, but the big story continues to be the large hail. So let me go ahead and clear this off real quick, and let's take a look at the size now. Right at 1604 and 87, still seeing golf ball size hail. Lavernia, this is getting pretty close to you. The area is closer towards Highway 87, walnut size. You definitely don't want that hitting your property either. So this is going to be also moving up towards New Berlin. Kind of just between New Berlin and Lavernia, I think, could be where we have the largest hailstones move over. So that's going to be right on the Wilson County and Guadalupe County line. One inch to almost 2-inch hail at Fort Sam Houston. Thank you for your report, Arthur. I appreciate that. Marble size hail in the Converse area off I-10. Some other spots of Converse had larger hail, so consider yourself very lucky, Melanie. I'm glad that it was a smaller hail for you. Massive hail out here in China Grove. Joanne reporting about 3 inches large. That's very large hail. All right, so let me go ahead and check out what the National Weather Service is saying, guys. We love to keep in contact with them because sometimes they see stuff that we're not seeing. Sometimes we like to share stuff with them that they may not be seeing. So they're still thinking about a hail in excess of 2 inches over parts of Bexar County. That was mentioned about less than 10 minutes ago. They were talking about that. And I still think that's continuing as these storms move into northern Wilson and southern Guadalupe County. Baseball size hail, they got a report of baseball size hail in China Grove. That's going to be the largest of the hail that's moving between Lavernia, which still could impact parts of Lavernia. Some of that baseball size hail, and I still think you're going to get damaging hail in Lavernia, by the way. I think that the largest may miss you just to the north, but I still think it's going to be damaging in Lavernia and also in the New Berlin areas. And there's a lot of chat about some other storms that are just north of the KENS 5 viewing area a lot, too. So let's go ahead and zoom this out again. Let's take a look at some of these other storms to go along with it. I've mentioned it a lot. Right now, Gonzales, you seem to not be having too much of an issue. These storms are still to your west, but it may hold together and move through Gonzales. I've talked about Seguin. Seguin, hail, large hail is possible, damaging hail is possible for your area. New Braunfels, I think that the strongest of the storms will stay south of you. I still think you could get a little bit of rain, but as far as the hail is concerned, I think it's going to stay south of you. Robert is Lackland in the clear for the rest of the night? Robert, I think you're going to get some rain, but as far as the severe weather, I think a majority of it is going to be done for you. Now, here's the thing. We still could have a few storms later on tonight, but I think a bulk of it will be done for Bexar County because a lot of the energy has been taken out of the atmosphere. Now, there's a possibility that the atmosphere gets its act back together and we see more storms. Let's go ahead and pull up future clouds and radar. And this one model is not doing a very good job initializing. Guys, I'm going to bounce it back to that storm here in just a moment, but I want to talk about what these storms are doing and what we could have later on tonight. So I'm changing our model here. We look at all sorts of different models in the Weather Center to get an idea about what could actually happen, and we choose the one that we think is more accurate. So, as we get to later on tonight, it looks like the storms will be pretty much done. Maybe a couple of storms in the hill country, but those look sub-severe. Maybe just heavy rain at times. But look off to our north. Check out just east of Austin. I believe that is going to be Bastrop County. Looks like they could have some severe weather through there, heading over toward our neighbors in College Station. Looks like we may actually get a strong storm or two tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. So it looks like as this next system passes through, it could actually deliver a couple of strong storms into parts of northern, maybe Guadalupe County, and then along the I-35 corridor, and then shifting east of the I-35 corridor, maybe impacting LaGrange, maybe even impacting Gonzales. Things that we're going to have to watch closely. So guys, let me go ahead and close future clouds and radar, and let's go ahead and bring back up radar to talk a little bit about what we're watching there. So still the severe thunderstorm warning that's in place there until 9:45 p.m. So we still have nearly a full hour left on this severe thunderstorm as it continues to move off to the east, impacting Seguin. And I think it's going to be actually moving out of this polygon by the time the hour's up, which means that they may end up issuing a new severe thunderstorm warning for Gonzales. Of course, we're going to stay on for that and continue to keep you updated. Serious hailstorm just ended in Adkins. Brenda, can you tell me how large it was there? We had some reports earlier that it was huge hail, but I'd love to know if it was large where you were as well. And that's only if it's safe to go outside. Remember, guys, don't only go outside to get a storm report if it is safe. Please don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. So I'm going to bring back up our hail product here because we want to see exactly where that main hail core is. Looks like maybe just north of Lavernia, but Lavernia, you know, you still could get large hail. I still would be prepared. Looks like you're already seeing about Pete and nickel size hail. New Berlin, you're about to see possibly up to golf ball size hail, maybe even larger, move through your area. St. Hedwig is still getting hammered with pretty large hail, maybe up to quarter size hail. Megan says she has a picture of giant hail. Megan, do me a favor. Send that in to us at KENS 5. You can send it to us on Twitter as well. Use the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag KENS5Eyewitness. That's KENS and the number 5 and then eyewitness, E-Y-E, witness. We want to see all those reports come in and be able to share them with everybody around the area. So, and that also allows us to know, hey, how large was it where you were? And then it lets us know what we can tell people in the future further down the line from this storm. I see I was underneath my carport. Is that safe? The answer is yeah, it's safe. I would try to be inside if you can. You know, if you need your car into the carport, it should be safe, though, is what I'm getting at. So Santa Clara, it looks like that the main hail core may pass just to your south. Still a lot of heavy rain where you're at and some lightning. But New Berlin, you are not going to be in the clear, unfortunately. It looks like you're going to see possibly some golf ball size hail move in for you. And these will continue to shift east towards that 123 corridor. Are we done with the bad weather at 35 and Thousand Oaks? Cynthia, yes, you are done with it for now. So let's go ahead and loop the hail core. You'll see it got really big as it made its way through downtown. Kind of weakened actually right through downtown. Got really big right before downtown, just to the west of downtown. And then it moved its way through the east side. Got really large there, and it's still large as it moves into parts of Wilson County and Guadalupe County. Hailing now in St. Hedwig. Georgia, if you could let me know how large that hail is as it's moving through you. It looks like St. Hedwig is getting the largest of the hail. Of course, only give me a report. Go outside and give me a report if it is safe to go outside. If it seems dangerous, don't put yourself in danger. It's absolutely fine. Just you are under probably the worst of the hail now, though. Give yourself about 15 minutes, Georgia, and it is going to quiet down. I know it could be a little bit scary out there with how large the hail is. It's sure it is very noisy on the roof and fairly upsetting, too, as it's occurring. So if you're north of Stockdale and south of Seguin, it looks like that's where the main hail core is going to pass through. I have good news for those in Seguin. It looks like the larger of the hail will pass south of town, but I have bad news for those who are maybe along the Guadalupe and Wilson County lines. That looks like that is going to be where the largest of the hail will pass through. It looks like the hail core itself has tightened up. Not necessarily shrunk. I think the hail is still large, but the area that is experiencing hail may be a smaller area now as the storm continues to shift east there toward that 123 corridor. I want to try to zoom in to give you a few more road names. FM 539, let's see, Almost Loop is also a road that's going to get some of the larger hail passed through. Again, 123, that is near the Guadalupe and Wilson County lines, all those spots going to be where we could have that larger hail. No hail at 410 and Highway 90. That's good to hear, Marty. All right, so let me go ahead and bring back up radar, guys. Take a wider look. It looks like the storm as a whole is shrinking. This storm may actually be weakening as it's getting closer to Gonzales. Like I said, I think these storms are going to weaken as they shift further east, and that seems to be the case. Still huge hail. It's still huge. I mean, you still need to be ready for that. But let's hope this storm collapses before it even makes it to Gonzales. The quicker, the better. Now, guys, Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he's on KENS 5 right now, or he was just a moment ago, giving a brief update on this storm. He's going to be cutting in occasionally to give updates on this storm as it continues to shift east. So if you're wondering where he is in-house, he is giving updates, and he's watching a few things behind the scenes. So be sure to have KENS 5 on because he'll be cutting in occasionally to also give some updates. Scary wind in Schertz by 15, 18. Yeah, we do have some strong winds. You know, we could have 60-mile-per-hour winds associated with these storms. So you need to be ready for that. The thing is, you know, the severe thunderstorm warnings could have very strong winds with them. We've been talking a lot about the hail. The winds can also be very strong with these storms. And let's go ahead and get a query or an answer to how strong the winds right now are from the National Weather Service. They're saying still about 60-mile-per-hour winds. So I've definitely seen worse than severe thunderstorms, but it's still serious. You know, you say scary winds. Yeah, they can be very scary. They can even be damaging winds associated at that speed. Let's see here. What about Kerrville? The answer is you're fine. These storms aren't impacting you. Let me go ahead and zoom out, show you the Kerrville area. So bit of a zoom out there, a little quick, but you see that not seeing any storms in Kerrville. That little blip of green and yellow south of Kerrville and really south of Bandera and Real County, northeast of Uvalde, in northeast Uvalde County, that's going to be actually bats flying out of a cave. That's not actually a storm. All right, so Joe was wondering about a track for this storm. So let's go ahead and put a track on it to show you where it's kind of going. Right now it's moving off toward the east at about 30 miles per hour. So I'll draw this out real quick, guys. Let's go ahead and include Gonzales out ahead of this too, since I've had a lot of questions about Gonzales and where this could be headed. So by Jim Barnes Middle School, by about 9:18, that's when this storm will arrive. That's about 15 minutes. Leesville, and your area by 9:34. 9:36, Leesville School Home. Belmont, 9:45. This will be impacting you. Beebe, 9:45, or excuse me, 9:48. The Cost and Cost School area by 10 p.m. And then Gonzales, it arrives on your doorstep by 10:11. So still an hour away from Gonzales. But if you can get your property to a safe place now, that is a good answer, or that is a good way to be. We had baseball size, pea size, ping pong. I live between Hamilton and General McMullen. I see Diana asking a lot about Marion, Texas. And the answer is, I think you're fine right now. These storms, I think, are going to be staying kind of just outside of your area, at least for now. I think they're going to be staying to your south. So if you just, keep an eye on the storm, that's all you need to do right now. But I do think that these storms, like the worst of it, I still think you're going to get rain and lightning. My chair just bumped down for a second there, guys. But the hail, the large hail, I don't think it's going to be impacting the Marion area. So that's the good news, Diane. Arthur says, what drought? Hopefully this will get us out of stage 2. Arthur, I think it'll even get us out of stage 1. We just have to wait about 15 days for SAWS and city officials to come together. They always monitor for about 15 days, and then they make the decision whether or not to get rid of stage 1 and stage 2 water restrictions. So after 15 days, Arthur, I think we may be done with water restrictions. But we have to continue to utilize that right now. I see a few questions about the aquifer. Guys, the short answer is I'm not going to bring up any graphics about it just because we do have a severe thunderstorm out there right now, and I want to stay on this. It's up more than 15 feet in the last 7 days. It is up above 660 now, but the 10-day average is not, so that means that the water restrictions, of course, still do remain in place. That's going to change over the next few days, I promise. We have a lot of rain, and the aquifer is doing great. So, again, this is the main storm that we're watching, guys. It's the main issue. It's going to continue to be the main issue. I don't think we're going to get a stronger storm than this one. And the big hail is the biggest issue with this storm. So Highway 123, you're next in line for the larger hail, maybe up to ping pong, to maybe even baseball size at times with this storm. What's Live Oak looking like right now at 9:05 p.m.? The answer is the strongest part of the storm is away from you. You may still have some strong winds and some rain where you're at, but the severe part of the storm is well to your southeast. You're fine. Baseball and golf ball size hail southeast on 410 and South Cross from earlier on, of course. But yeah, Sabrina, they definitely got some huge hail through there. I posted some pics of the baseball size hail we got, sent it in Messenger. Gary, thank you so much. Guys, that's another place you can send us some of these large hail photos. We have our digital team right now tracking all this hail report and all the reports from the storms. If you can message us on Facebook, send us your hail reports. We would love to share those. So right now, Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he is live on TV giving an update on these storms. Right now showing hail video that came out of, I believe that's the hail from the Bernie area. Wherever it may be, I'm telling you, the hail was huge. Hail in Bernie was golf ball size hail, ping pong to golf ball size. That's just one of the other spots where we had large hail earlier on. Bernie is fine now. That storm is now well away from you and is actually outside of the Kents 5 viewing area. But he's live right now giving you updates on these storms as they continue to move through. Be sure to also watch him on Ken's 5 TV. And guys, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here as long as we have severe weather. Right now, you may be looking, if you're just now joining, you may be saying, what's that purple blob on the screen? Well, that is the spot of the storm where we are having hail. And I'm going to go ahead and take my toolbar off of here so that y'all can see exactly what that purple means. Tennis ball size hail possible in some spots. And that you can only imagine. I mean, hold a tennis ball in your hand, how big that is. That's going to do damage to roofs. That's going to do damage to cars. Definitely something that you do not want occurring anywhere, and especially if it's at your home. So hen egg size hail being reported in a couple spots from this storm, golf ball size hail. Hen egg is basically going to be your tennis ball size almost, just huge hail coming down there in now southwest Guadalupe County and possibly even clipping the northern end of Wilson County. It looks like a bulk of Livonia is going to make it out of here just fine. They're going to miss it, which is good. That's what we want to see. You know, we want to see the stronger part, the larger hail miss Livonia. Merlin says, sorry, don't know if I submitted it twice. You know what, Merlin? We're fine with that. If you accidentally submit it twice, we like that better than if you were to submit it 0 times. So not a problem. Will New Braunfels get any rain later, is what Tristan's wanting to know, and the answer is possible. Yeah, I think we're going to have some more showers early tomorrow morning. When I say later, it could be early tomorrow morning. So right now, not that much of an issue, but you actually could be seeing some rain in parts of New Braunfels right now. Parts of the town could be seeing rain right now. Just not everybody's going to see it from this first round. Norma says, the hail was horrible. Is it happening all night? The answer is no. But we could have another round of severe weather tomorrow morning. Kind of later in the morning, it's possible that we could see some strong storms again. Now, that doesn't mean the same areas are going to see the severe weather, but again, it is possible that you do. And we're not expecting an outbreak like what we had Wednesday night into Thursday. That's when it was really bad, and we were expecting it to be really bad. This was a lower risk for severe storms, but and it wasn't even a guarantee that they were going to form, but they still managed to form and break the cap. So guys, let me go ahead and erase this stuff. Let's go ahead and run this through real quick. I think this hail core it looks like it just cycled, the storm cycled, and it's still holding together. Now, still passing south of Seguin. But if you're there where 123 meets 46, you could see hail from this storm. Just a heads up. And if you live south of there, I believe you will see hail. But I think the largest of the hail will still miss Seguin to the south. Jennifer says she submitted some hail to our inbox, some hail reports rather, to our inbox. Thank you so much, Jennifer. She says it's the largest hail she's seen, and she said it came from Adkins, Texas. Yeah, I heard some big reports out of Adkins, maybe up to baseball-size hail down there. I see the question, will there be a flood in San Antonio? You know, parts of the city may deal with a little bit of flooding. That's possible. But I think it would be the typical areas that do see the flooding. So just try to avoid those spots that typically flood when we have heavy rain. I don't think we're talking about any big, widespread flooding, though. And John, yes, I think you should be fine for right now. So there's Marion. I remember, I think it was Diane was asking about Marion a lot. These storms well to your south. Again, you're probably getting lightning. You're probably getting rain, hearing the thunder. But the hail is staying to your south, the severe part of this storm. Jennifer saying definitely baseball size, where she was earlier on tonight when the storms were making their way through the Adkins area. High winds and rain now gone in the Schertz area. Thank you so much. I appreciate that report. Any tornado worries? And the answer is, it's possible. Whenever you have a severe thunderstorm, you have that possibility for a tornado, to be honest. I mean, pretty much when that happens. But the answer is not seeing any issues right now. Now, I can check rotation. It's been a while since we looked at it. Looking right now, and I don't see an issue with rotation. Anything that's in there looks fairly broad, so no issues right now as far as tornadoes are concerned. Let me go ahead and check with the National Weather Service. We're going to see what they're saying too, see what they're saying about some of these storms passing through. Seeing a report of 52-mile-per-hour winds observed at Randolph Airfield. So we were talking about those stronger winds that made their way through the Schertz area. They also had that closer on toward Randolph. Another report of tennis ball-sized hail that came out of China Grove. Is DeWitt County in the path? That's what Beth wants to know. The answer is not so much. I think that this storm is going to miss you to the north, and any part of the storm that hits DeWitt County will be after the storm has already pretty much collapsed. So we talked about that severe thunderstorm watch that's in place. Of course, that does continue for now, but it looks like these storms are expected to weaken as they continue their way off toward the east, and I'm trying to pull up that severe thunderstorm watch for y'all guys. Here it is. You notice that the severe thunderstorm watch only extends to Wilson and Guadalupe County. It doesn't even include Gonzales County. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to see the possibility for severe weather. The severe thunderstorm warning is already including parts of Gonzales County. So just because you're not under a watch doesn't mean that one can't occur, but these storms are weakening as they're moving into Gonzales County, and that's why Gonzales County wasn't included in a watch, because the storm is expected to weaken as it continues off to the east. Now, this watch is expected to continue until about 11 p.m., so we still have about 2 hours left with this watch. All right, guys, let me go ahead and put everything into pause for you. We still have that one severe storm up towards Marble Falls. This is the one that impacted the Bernie area. Of course, that's outside the Kents 5 viewing area, though. Just south of Seguin. Seguin, you're about to see heavy rainfall. A lot of lightning, too. Let's go ahead and turn on lightning. Take a look at that. A lot of thunder and lightning right now in downtown Seguin. But the hail core, again, looks like it will pass south of your region. Hector wants to know, where's Bill Taylor? I think they're getting ready to cut in on CBS right now. So he's about to cut in on TV, I believe, and possibly in the next commercial break, and you'll hear an update from him. He's covering stuff on the TV side while I'm covering things here in our special digital center to keep everybody updated. But he is in-house. Any more rain tonight beyond these current storms? And Ryan, it is possible that we get a little bit more rain in. And as we head into the latter part of tomorrow morning, we could have more storms. It's possible. So something we'll continue to watch and continue to keep you updated on, Ryan and James. Would this storm be classified as a supercell, or is it only when it is tornadic? No, JB, you can have a supercell that isn't a tornado. So, this is consider this. Consider you have a small shower. We'd call it a cell. It's a cell. And then one that's extremely strong, a supercell. Think of it in the Pacific. This may not be the best analogy because it's in the Pacific, but we have typhoons in the Pacific, in the western Pacific, that is, which are just hurricanes, just different name, different region. Kind of like how Florida Panthers are Florida Panthers in Florida, but they're mountain lions when you head out west, or cougars in other places. A typhoon is a weaker hurricane, but a super typhoon is a major hurricane. So think of it like that. We have cells and we have supercells. A supercell would be a strong, severe thunderstorm. Anything for Hondo? No, nothing for Hondo right now. You're fine. Stockdale and Sutherland Springs area. You're fine. You do have a severe, you're included in the initial severe thunderstorm warning, but the severe weather is staying to your north. You do have lightning nearby, though, so maybe hearing some thunder. But the severe weather is going to miss you to the north. Really, the storm itself is pretty much all in Guadalupe County, not really in Wilson County anymore, which is good for our friends in Wilson County. But Guadalupe County getting the most intense part of the storm right now. So let's go ahead and bring back up the hail product, guys. Because, again, we have had strong winds with these storms, but I think that the main issue is this little batch right here, that little circle that you're seeing on your screen in purple and blue. A little bit of the white color is actually just peat and nickel size hail, so sub-severe, not as much of an issue. We have a pretty intense hail core, but it is a really tight area that is the area that's being impacted. Let's go ahead and see how wide this hail core is. So there's a 4-mile swath, and everybody outside of that is just going to get non-severe hail. But there's about a 4-mile width area that could see up to baseball size hail. So, you're either going to be really lucky or you're going to be just under that spot that's really, really tough. So let's get an idea about what the radar is saying about the size of this hail. Billiard ball. You think about how large a pool ball is. You definitely don't want a pool ball hitting your windshield of your car or your roof, for that matter either. Plenty of rain south of 90 in Seguin. Yeah, a lot of heavy rain moving through the Seguin region. Thankfully, the large hail is staying south of you, though, Robbie. I know that you welcome that news. You still could see some small hail, but the big stuff, I think, is going to stay south of you. Got hail off Converse in 1604 in I-10. Hannah's saying that was about 10 minutes ago. It may have been a little bit longer, Hannah, because it's been a while since we've had the strong part of the storm pass through your region. We actually don't even have any rain off that direction anymore. But yeah, we did have big hail near the Converse area. John says, what is a good app to watch weather live? John, the KENS 5 weather app. We're actually live there right now. Not just here on Facebook. We're live on the KENS 5 app. And we also have radar on the KENS 5 app. Live looks of radar. So whenever you're on the go, you can get an idea where the storms are. And we also send out alerts through the KENS 5 app so you can stay informed on the storm whenever you're on the go. I strongly suggest having it because let's say, again, we don't have any tornado warnings right now, guys, I promise. But let's say we ended up having one and you needed to go take shelter. If you have the KENS 5 app, of course, you can watch this on Facebook too, but if you have the app, you get the alert and then you also get watching us live, where we can let you know where the possible tornado is. But again, no tornado warning in South Texas right now. I'm just giving an example of why it would be good to have the KENS 5 app. You can get it from the App Store. Erica says, hailing in Seguin. Erica says it's nickel size in downtown. So even though the radar isn't picking that up, like I said, maybe peat and nickel size hail could be possible into Seguin. Smaller than severe level hail, but definitely, a little bit of it is occurring in Seguin. But it looks like still the largest of it is to your south, thank goodness. Nicole says she watches KENS 5 on Facebook and uses another app. Now, I'm not going to call this app out, but we can, with our app, we can give you updates on whenever you're on the go, tailored to our area. And also you have meteorologists, us, in-house, giving updates. Some other weather apps out there, and I'm not going to name any names, they use computers to give updates, weather models, just one run. We update those forecasts ourselves here at KENS 5, so you're getting the most accurate, up-to-date forecast whenever it may be. So that's why I suggest the KENS 5 app could be so great. There are other apps out there that are great, but we can do a lot to make sure we continue to keep you informed. But that's enough about the pitch for the app. Let's go back to talking about this storm. So Highway 123, Again, still about golf ball size hail, crossing 123 right now. Remember, the radar lags rather a little bit behind, so the larger the hail probably right now starting to cross 123. No hail by Texas Lutheran. That's great to hear, Patty. I'm glad to hear that. Hail in China Grove was huge. Julia, yeah, we had multiple reports of baseball-sized hail in China Grove. If you have any photos of it yourself, be sure to send it to us here at Ken's 5. You can send it to us right through that Facebook inbox. We would love to get your reports. Any videos, any images you can take, and remember, when you shoot a video, make sure you're holding your phone sideways, because that way it can help us be able to share it a little bit better whenever it's for TV. So if you could shoot sideways, that's the best. Grape-sized hail on Zion Hill. A lot of people saying, thank you so much for what you're doing. No problem, guys. This is why I do what I do, in order to keep people informed on weather. You know, it's not just the nice weather days. We got to remember about the bad weather days too. Julie, no hail seen in the medical center area. Yeah, Julie, I actually live in the medical center myself, and we're actually here in the medical center as well. We missed out on the rain, thank goodness, but man, we did get a lot of heavy rain move through. Rigsby and 410 had about palm-sized hail. Of course, that depends on how large your hand may be. Julie says, flooding off Wurzbach and Vance Jackson Road, though, yeah, we had that heavy rain, and it did lead to a little bit of flash flooding for parts of the medical center. As I was coming into work, I encountered some of that higher water. Thankfully, I was able to avoid it by just switching lanes. But remember, avoid flooded areas. Now, a lot of that water has likely receded in the medical center now that the rain has stopped. But areas on the east side of town, maybe near China Grove, you could be encountering a little bit of flooding yourselves. So, still have this one storm that's off to the east. It's been a while since we've taken a wider look. Let's go ahead and zoom out. That way everybody can get an idea for where they're at, where there could be more storms. The answer is we still have just these two storms. Well, really just one storm now. That other storm that went to the north from Bernie up toward Marble Falls is now outside of the Ken's 5 viewing area. So our sister station in Austin, KView, they're going to continue to watch that storm for our friends further to the north. But we still have our one storm, again, right south of the I-10 corridor. And guys, I have good news. This storm is collapsing. As it moves east, look at the amount of lightning activity associated with it just kind of really go down. That lets us know that the storm is actually weakening because the updraft isn't as strong. And it looks like it'll continue to collapse as it tries to push its way into western Gonzales County. But if you're in western Gonzales County, be ready for some hail because it is going to be possible. Baseball-sized hail at Adkins, St. Hedwig area. Yeah, we've had multiple reports of that, Robbie. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your property was able to stay safe. So let's look at the amount of lightning strikes we've had in the last 15 minutes now over near Seguin. Go ahead and get an answer here. About 34 strikes. Compared to what we had earlier, that's a lot less. So we're seeing a big weakening in this storm right now. It's really collapsing. Remember, that's why Gonzales County isn't even under a severe thunderstorm watch, because these storms were expected to collapse as they continued to move their way off to the east. So let's see here. Guys, let me go ahead and bring back up hail. And I know we've spent a lot of time looking, and man, guys, I just told you, when lightning goes down, that means that the updraft isn't as strong. When we have a weaker updraft, that means hail goes down. Guys, look at this. That's a huge collapse in the hail core, which is good. That means that the hail is getting smaller as it shifts east, still possibly up to golf ball size. But man, that is really a huge drop. In the next 15 minutes, we're going to see this thing just collapse. Not completely. It's still going to rain in parts of Gonzales County. But as far as this hail core, it's great news. I hope that continues as it shifts east. Nicole says, love y'all's forecast. Been watching the last 7 years and always been pretty accurate. I rely on that. Thank you so much, Nicole. We appreciate that. All right, so guys, I'm going to bring back up radar. We're going to watch this to make sure this storm isn't just cycling, because sometimes that's what storms do. They cycle. Now you'll notice there's 3 severe thunderstorm warning boxes here, but only one matters, and that's the one that's including just Guadalupe County. So Wilson County is actually no longer in a severe thunderstorm warning. Your warning is actually done, but Guadalupe County, yours continues, and so does that very western portion of Gonzales County. But honestly, if you're in Gonzales County, you're not in a severe thunderstorm warning right now. And I only say that you are in one, but the severe part of the storm is missing you to the north. So that part of the severe thunderstorm is that part of the storm that is in your area is just putting down a little bit of rain, which is good. That's what you want me to. That's what you want me to say. That's what you want to hear, rather. So guys, man, this hail core is just collapsing big time. Oh man, that's what you like to see. That's what you want to hear. Tennis ball to golf ball size near New Berlin, and we know that was the case in Bexar County. But as it's moved deeper into Guadalupe County, let's go ahead and get an answer here on the size. Golf ball still, like I said, maybe up to golf ball size, but walnut size as we get into some of these more outside areas, marble size. So we definitely see a shrinking there. Did not get hail off Judson Road, but Converse is right about, reading what John said, but Converse is right around, rather, not about, around the corner. And Converse, I know, did get a little bit of hail. But I'm glad you didn't get any hail, John. And John, yeah, you're fine now, by the way. The hail has now moved well east of your area. All right, guys, we're going to continue to watch this. I'm going to continue to stay on here. But we've really seen a lot of improvement. This severe thunderstorm warning is still until 9:45. So we have 15 minutes left on this warning. And I'm willing to bet that after the 15 minutes are done, we see it, we'll be able to say it's over, at least for now. So great news. You know, we don't have any storms behind this. I know I'm moving the radar around a lot. Sorry about that. I'm seeing things in real time that y'all are too. So not seeing any other storms behind it right now. That's the great news. I hope that continues. With that being said, I'm not hopping off. Don't worry, I'm staying on. But Eyewitness News at 10 starts in 30 minutes. Weather Chief Bill Taylor is going to have the latest on the forecast, the latest on the storms. Be sure to tune into that. We're also going to be sharing a lot of different photos and video that's been shared with us from the storms that have just passed through. Be sure to tune into Kent's 5 for that as well. You'll be able to see the size of these hailstones. Guys, it's amazing. The size of these hailstones that made their way through eastern Bexar County is it's awful, but amazing to see how large they are. So be sure to tune into Kent's 5 Eyewitness News at 10, CBS affiliate, of course. And we're going to have the latest update on the storms that we have possible tomorrow as well. Weather Chief Bill Taylor will be on giving an update about that. Tennis ball size and golf ball size hail by 35 and Nogalitos area. Of course, that was earlier today. Not seeing that anymore. Thank goodness. So let me zoom back down to the storm. Again, you see the amount of lightning just really going down. The updraft collapsing. That's what you want me to say. You want me to say that. Trust me, that means that the storm is weakening. And the hail size, oh man, there it goes. It's gone, guys, pretty much. We still have hail. Don't get me wrong. But this storm is just dead. Dead in the water. That's what you want to see. Walnut size, walnut. Grape size, walnut, pea size. Give it about 10 minutes and this storm is just going to be absolutely just done, putting down rain, likely not even any lightning within the next 15 minutes either. So, Luling. This storm is going to be moving toward you. Seguin, the worst part of the storm is east of you. You probably still have some lightning, some thunder, and some rain, but that's about it. John says, thank you, honestly, for doing this live. Helps me keep up with the weather. That's why we do these weather lives. Exactly. I mean, John, because so many people will lose power in severe weather events. A lot of people may not have access to TV anymore. And if you don't, we have these lives to keep everybody updated. We want to make sure that wherever our viewers are, they have the ability to get the information to stay safe. That's my whole goal as a meteorologist, to keep everybody informed and safe. And I don't mind doing these lives. I used to have to do them a lot more when I lived in Biloxi, Mississippi, where we had severe weather almost daily, especially in the summer. When I lived in Jonesboro, Arkansas, it was similar. It was constant with the severe weather coming through. Here we get it so few that it's doing these lives. I don't mind it by any means. And I didn't mind doing it there either, because that's my passion. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to keep people informed and safe in severe weather events. But I definitely don't mind doing it whenever the chance happens here in South Texas. I see no more tornadoes, please. I beg you, and I hope so. I hope so too. I don't think we have that issue with these storms. Don't worry, especially this storm that's collapsing right now as it moves into eastern Guadalupe County. But I totally agree. I would rather us just not have any, if possible. Of course, they do exist, so it is always, it's always possible for it to be a problem. But thankfully, not seeing that with these storms. Just the hail. Now, the winds were strong too, don't get me wrong, especially in Schertz. But hail has been the big talker with these storms tonight. How about Cuero? Lisa, good question. Let's go ahead and zoom out, show Cuero. You're fine. These storms are staying north of you. You're not under a severe thunderstorm watch or anything like that. I know you could use the rain. You don't want severe weather, of course, but you could use the rain. I think you're not going to get either, though. So I think you're fine down towards the Cuero area. Are we still waiting for more in the Converse region? The answer is no. You're fine right now. And Joe chiming in too, saying we're good. Thank you so much, Joe, for also chiming in there. I appreciate that. Sometimes I do miss some of the comments that may come in. And, if you feel like I missed your comment, feel free to ask it again. I don't mind that. I see, I feel bad. I live in deep South Texas and hope that nobody gets hurt in these powerful storms. Thankfully, I think we're all good now. It was a lot worse earlier where we had the large hail, but I think things are getting a lot weaker. So now, remember what I said, Gonzales, when I said that you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but not really, because the severe part of the storm isn't even going to clip Gonzales County? Well, guess what? The National Weather Service just drew a new severe thunderstorm warning polygon, and it does not include Gonzales County. So it's a very small polygon, and it's only until 9:45, so only for the next 10 minutes. It's only Guadalupe County included. Man, this storm just collapsed. This is one of the quickest collapsing storms I've ever seen, and I love being able to say that. The amount of lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes, 4. Only 4 strikes. So not bad at all. And then you see a nickel to pea-size hail. That's it. This storm is now about to be considered sub-severe. In other words, no longer a severe storm. And that's great news for those in Gonzales County. That's great news for everybody, really, and especially Guadalupe County, who are getting hit by the storm right now and saying, goodness, we're about to deal with this, really? Do we have to? And thankfully, the storm is weakening as it moves into eastern Guadalupe County. So, as long as the severe thunderstorm warning is in place, or we have any severe weather in place, I'm staying live, guys, but I'm going to hop off of here probably in about 10 minutes. With that being said, remember, KENS 5 Eyewitness News at 10 o'clock is going to start in about 23 minutes. We're going to have live reports of some of the hail damage, of some of the large hail that we've had in the area. We're going to have images to share, all sorts of things like that. We're also going to be talking with Weather Chief Bill Taylor. He's heading it. He's heading it all up. He's going to be talking all about the storms that we had and the what's possible for the rest of tonight. He's going to be talking about the forecast for the chance for more showers and storms tomorrow, and then talking about the rest of the week to go along with it. So be sure to tune in to Kent's 5. He'll have the latest update on that. We are now down to 2 lightning strikes. I can count those on the screen. 2 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes. So the updraft is just completely collapsed. The downdraft has taken control of this storm. And when I say that, yeah, you got a lot of heavy rain there in eastern Guadalupe County. But as far as the hail is concerned, well, it's just kind of going away completely. Joe says, we appreciate you guys. I feel like family. Oh, Joe, we appreciate that. And I appreciate your help tonight. I've seen you chime in a few times on some of the comments, helping me relay the message to people. I always appreciate that. So, Joe, thank you so much. So, guys, I'm zooming out. Sorry for the quick zoom out there. Let's actually just do this. There's where we have the storm, the one storm in eastern Guadalupe County. We also have a pretty intense storm. The severe storm in northern Burnett County is pretty strong too. If you know anybody traveling up the I-35 corridor, maybe they're in Williamson County, maybe they're headed up to Temple and Killeen, a very strong storm there. Give them a phone call. Just let them know what's going on up there. We would like to check on our neighbors here across the Lone Star State too. Dallas area, severe storms. They even have tornado warnings up there. They have the better chance for tornadoes. Our chances are much lower here in South Texas, and that's why we haven't seen any from these storms. And you see the severe weather stretches all the way up the I-35 corridor, even up to Oklahoma, and I believe that's going to be getting close toward Paris, the Sherman and Paris area. Yeah, so in Sherman, right now under severe thunderstorm warning, and Paris just to the east of that. So let's go home. Again, there was a tornado warning. That is in Dallas area, though. And let's zoom down to this storm, our storm of the night. 1 lightning strike in the last 15 minutes. The storm continues to collapse and is almost moving outside of that severe thunderstorm warning polygon. So that lets us know that the National Weather Service does not intend on extending the warning. Joe says he's headed, and John says he's headed out, excuse me. John, I hope you have a good night. Get some good sleep, and we'll continue to keep you updated through everything. Let's see here. Guadalupe County, reporting Guadalupe County, 5 miles south of Seguin, has a report of $half size hail. Had a report of pink ball size hail in New Berlin. That was earlier. That was when the storm was still really strong and passing through. So let's look at that hail core again, because again, that has been the big story, and it's gone. That's it. The hail core has collapsed, possibly pea-sized hail for a few spotty areas of Guadalupe County there, southeast of Seguin. But guys, we're looking at the end of this. Still has 5 minutes on the severe thunderstorm warning, and because of that, I'm not going to go anywhere. Like I said, as long as there's a warning, I'm going to be on. But remember what I said, when the lightning went down, so did our storm. Our storm was going to weaken, and that's what we had. As it approached that 123 corridor, we saw a decrease in lightning, and then we just saw the storm collapse completely. There it is. The lightning went down and the storm collapsed, and we now have less than 1 lightning strike in the last 15 minutes. So that's good news. So 0 lightning strikes, less than 1, just 0 rather. Heavy rain though. So let's talk about that. Still heavy rain along I-10. If you know anybody traveling along I-10, tell them to be ready for that heavy rain. Could be a lot of water ponding on the roads in some areas, especially as you get closer to San Antonio. The Luling area about to see rain. I know there's a lot of farmers out there in parts of Gonzales County that are probably welcoming this rain, even though we just had a ton of it. Probably welcoming a little bit more rain just because we've been needing it so bad. Joe says, are there any indications of storms building overnight into early morning for the city and county? Joe, it is possible that we have some strong storms. I think that our better chance for more strong to severe storms will be kind of towards the middle to latter part of tomorrow morning. That's going to be as the system really kind of pushes through our region. But we still could see a strong storm or two. So it's something we're going to be watching. We're going to have multiple meteorologists in-house keeping you updated. If need be, we'll, of course, cut back into programming, and we'll, of course, do another one of these live videos. And, guys, if you have that KENS 5 app, you'll get an alert to your phone saying, hey, there's a severe thunderstorm warning to your area or a possible tornado warning. Anything like that, we'll be able to keep you updated wherever you are and whenever you're on the go. Of course, again, no tornado warnings set right now for our area. I'm just giving you an example. All right, we have 2 minutes left on this warning. The storm is no longer severe, I would say. National Weather Service is going to let this one expire. But, of course, I'm going to stay on until it does. Actually, you know what? They just expired that warning. So it's done. Even though you're seeing this on your screen still, the warning is now over. So, guys, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out radar to a more wider look here so we can get a look at all these storms. And I'm going to go ahead and talk to Weather Chief Bill Taylor about some of these storms, what he'd like for me to do, covering things behind the scenes. He's getting ready to go live at KENS 5 Eyewitness News at 10. That's in 15 minutes. We've had a lot of reports of large hail around the area. We've had a lot of reports of some damaging hail. And we're going to have the latest on that, some images to share with you all at 10 o'clock. And we're also going to be having the latest update on whether there could be more storms tonight and what we could have for tomorrow coming from Weather Chief Bill Taylor. So for now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. He's going to continue to keep you updated on things on TV. And if need be, we will cut back in here on Facebook, on YouTube, on the KENS 5 app with more updates about storms and whatever needs to be covered, of course. So have a great one. Hope that everybody can have a quiet night. And we'll keep you updated on everything right here at KENS 5. Again, last update, KENS 5, Eyewitness News at 10, starts in 15 minutes. Be sure to tune in.